worst.
Ooh,
You people are the worst. Absolutely
the
horrible.
best.
What is up, everybody? We're back. We know it's been a bit of a break. We were off last week. Very excited. Chris is doing sus things on camera. Well, thank everyone who's come in so far. Amanda, I appreciate you. Aves hanging out. Lil Toria, I didn't need to know you're gonna go stream, but I appreciate you coming by. Just don't be that person. Don't be that person. But you know, I appreciate you being here and shit. Just don't be that person. Ever. Not a good look. Anyway, I want to say thank you to everyone else who's shown up. Y'all the best. Nerd Hollow, let's go. The hair is fabulous, right, Aves? Ryan is looking fiery as fuck. We also realized we now have exactly...
Stop right now.
We've now
Thank
matched...
you
yeah.
very much. I need somebody
Mhm.
with a human
We now
touch.
officially have a ginger spice in the party. Let's go.
Funny thing is, he was trying to go for pink.
Yep, bright pink.
It
Yet
didn't
it
work.
came out 10 times better.
It did not
Archie
work.
Andrews orange.
It's so
everybody.
good. It's so good.
Someone
yeah, no,
called the fire department.
it was a bit of a time
She's
off.
on fire.
I missed you guys. I am excited to be back. We got Hell's Corp with us today, as per usual. You got anything new you want to tell the people about? You're getting into some crazy shit over there, as usual. Nothing new? Nothing new? Okay.
Else Corp got squared outside.
Yeah, if y'all haven't already, go show some love to my buddy Hell's Corp over on his Twitch, his YouTube, all that stuff.
I will stream sometime in the future.
Yep, sometime in the future. No, not near future, just the future.
I got
He'll-
setup shit to do.
He'll fabricate you a giant metal horse cock.
Can't do that on Twitch, unfortunately. But
Thomas?
you know, PM me. I'll see what I
I
can
feel like, yeah, and that's something
The
you
vase.
need to it's a vase, yeah.
I'll slide
100%.
into your DM.
Oh my
do.
god.
Yeah, DM me. I'll see what I can do for you.
We're unhinged already.
How many
It,
giant
ju-
metal
it just
horse
started.
cock?
We've been away for 2 weeks. We're unhinged in the first 12 minutes of the stream. We love it.
Stop acting like
So-
this is some magical thing.
No, it
that
happens
doesn't
every
happen
time. It happens every time.
single week.
It happens every time. I've learned to accept it and love it in a way. I kind of missed it last week. I missed
consistent.
you guys busting my balls and all. So,
Busting your nuts.
busting my nuts. We love that. So,
We always bust
Mittens.
Rusty's nuts.
in terms of new stuff on our end of things,
Bust
since
Rusty's
Hellcorp's...
Busty's nuts.
Oh my god, shut the fuck up. I love you, but...
And Tuca endorses that.
God damn it.
What, the Rusty Busty balls?
I just want to end
Us, Russ,
it.
Justin,
Yeah.
but
Just put me- Pete, you and me, let's just hang out. You want to go grab a brew or something? Like, meet at a halfway point, find a
You
pub.
could have the best solo adventure. You
I
and
run a pretty good solo adventure. Ask Hell's Corp. He was
That's-
last
you know
time
what?
I
Thank
ran
you
a
for hearing
solo
that about
adventure.
you,
We blew
Pat.
up the wall. Oh, we love that. Gregory gets advantage for the amazing hair from Aves. You also said you'd have a whiteboard, and I don't see a
Was
whiteboard, Ryan.
going to get one and I forgot.
Okay, well, we're gonna. I'm
It's
disappointed.
happening.
I'm disappointed in you. Okay, I just need you to know my disappointment is immeasurable. Okay, it cannot be measured except on a whiteboard. What is that? Oh, it's the Hell's Break. We got you. We got you. So, without further ado, we'll just get into a quick recap. What happened last session 2 weeks ago? The party finally reunited with Mr. Maker, who had seemingly recovered from his wounds and awoken at last. Decided to spend a little bit more time familiarizing themselves with the space a little, getting to know the Nerisch Sanctuary, their new abode hidden deep within the Incendus Mountains along the coastline. Each one kind of going about the day in their own way, a little fuzzy on the details because it was a while ago. Some standout things were our young Gregory, intent on getting this cavern open and seemingly clearing this collapse that had blocked their way, creatively summoning a small battalion, I don't know, unit of hedgehogs who are capable of tunneling 5 feet per turn, and just very slowly, very gradually, very safely, mind you, the fact he didn't try to rush that made that excavation a lot safer. Cleared a perfect tunnel down to a great stone door. Before we get to that, however, Mantuka, while all this was going on, what's up?
A group of hedgehogs is called an array.
An array of hedgehogs. I like that. I like that.
We're
An
also
array.
badgers, though.
Oh yeah, they were badgers.
That's
That's what
weren't
badgers
hedgehogs.
called.
That's true. That's true. Thank you for
Hold on.
correcting me, Hesper. I appreciate. Oh my god, what is happening?
That would be
Just get through one recap, like one time. Just one recap. Just
CET.
one recap, front to back, start to finish. No blue balls in the middle.
To come.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
No blue balls from that one there. There were two
Got it.
comes.
All right, let's reel it in. Let's let the DM.
I'm just like
bunch of
dying.
Fucking hell.
I'm slowly dying inside, and it's all your fault. I'm gonna have so much gray hair by the time this campaign is done. I will have aged 20 years in this time. I will look like Gandalf. I'm kind of okay with it. I'm not gonna lie. I think that would be a good dungeon master look for me. I'll really come into
You'd
my
look
own with
great
that.
as a wizard.
I would. I think so too.
Dye your hair.
Future cosplay, maybe. I need to grow it a little more first. Anyway, Peter Mantuka, our good friend, the Raging Minotaur, spent some time with the new recruits. Some recently recruited motivational time with the new recruits. Some new individuals recently decided they wanted to step up and help the cause. Began training with fairly rudimentary wooden training weapons, basically whatever they could find. No one really standing out in particular, except for two large, seemingly twin brothers from somewhere far, far in the north. Just permanently sunburnt skin, bright red at all times, kind of peeling and dried. Doesn't look like the desert had been treating them all that well. You had them, Yurik and Yerik, the twin brothers, fight in what almost became a duel to the death. Thank you for doing some mod stuff, Aves. Good luck with the coding. I appreciate y'all. Have a good one. Dude, there you go. You squared them off in a little duel in which one, I believe Yurik, need to remember which one is which, ended up victorious, standing over his brother who was seemingly unconscious. You offered him the opportunity to deliver the death blow, which he neglected to do, choosing instead to lightly slap his brother in the face instead of, outright murdering him, which apparently was part of the training regimen. After which, Mantuka went to, let the lesson sink in a little and not overwork the students, and Stanislav showed up not long after, realizing that perhaps Mantuka had taken an, what do we want to say, unconventional approach with his training.
That's a Christian way of saying
Amazing.
Quickly, very quickly, sought to rectify things, and did not so much fix as in, just shape that lesson into something a little more formidable and understandable, teaching them to operate in basic units and training amongst each other, just kind of going over the basics of combat. Mr. Maker spent his day in his new office, his new setup in the kind of back rooms of your new abode, building a fairly rudimentary but very functional forge in the remains of what had much been a forge itself, mostly just repairing it back up to its state. Still a little work left to be done with that, but at very least, a functional forge was made. After which, you all reunited just as the Badgers, I apologize again, were finishing their handiwork after a brief meal in the mess hall, where you all met a young chef by the name of Berilar.
Big boy.
A rather husky individual who was very friendly, very kind, put Gregory immediately to work on helping with the dinner prep. Didn't make any money on that particular thing, but you were fed a particularly large portion for that day.
I became his pupil.
You did. You now have like an apprenticeship. Hey, we got a raid from Grim. What's up, buddy? Thank you so much. I appreciate it. At which point, the whole party returned to the now excavated cavern. They descended deep. Oh, kitty cam. They descended deep into the staircase below, into the darkness, lighting torches as you went and kind of illuminating the path as you arrived at a great sandstone door, upon which the effigy of a familiar face to Gregory had been carved, but unfamiliar to the rest of the party. Gregory took a minute, and as he reached out and put his hand on the door, the patterns that had seemingly been carved into the stone began to illuminate with this light, some in different colors in other spots, illuminating these what appear to be constellations, though not any that any of you recognize. Not the same celestial formations that you know today. These are ancient and old. In fact, over the course of this, let's say, probably 2,500 years or so since this was carved, it appears that some of the constellations have changed. The skies are not quite the same as they used to be. It happens. something that also stood out as odd to, I believe, Mr. Maker and Gregory, was that a lot of the carving and stonework here was of dwarven origin, which stood out as very, very odd to both of you, as this was a sanctuary presumably built for, if not by, the Undara people, the ancient elves who once claimed this land as their home. And that is where we left off. So, what are you doing? Like I said, as you walked out and just put your hand on the door, it all began illuminating. And you saw words carved in the top, and you didn't really get a chance to analyze them too heavily, but you do see carvings there. And what strikes you as odd about those is they're written in 2 languages. One you're familiar with, which is the language of the Undara people, kind of a strange ancient mix of Celestial and Elven blended together to form a language. Does anyone here speak Dwarven?
No, I speak Elvish.
Okay.
I speak Celestial.
That's not
Oh.
what I asked. That's not what I asked at all, but cool, thank you.
I don't know. You did mention Celestial too, though.
I
You
did.
mentioned Elvish as well.
No, I know. So that's a no on Dwarven then.
Nope,
Cool.
don't speak Dwarven.
Sweet.
No, no.
So,
I said
Uh,
no the first time. I just followed it up
So,
with additional information for you.
Gregory in particular.
For you.
Jesus Christ. You understand the first bit of the writing. You're quite familiar with this language. While you don't necessarily have a perfect grasp or understanding enough that you speak it or understand it fluently, you've begun to piece together these different shapes and forms and letters that they use to form their language. Some of it is a little less clear to you. So, I need an intelligence check if you're going to try to read that. All hail Mogus. Always hail Mogus.
Can I
Stuart is not
assist
that.
with him by helping with the celestial aspect of it?
Sure thing.
Oh,
You roll twice.
boop, boop.
He gets it. He had to roll a nat 20 off the start.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
I
it's
don't even need to
pretty...
guidance you.
Yeah, no, you're fucking.
No,
set
you
on
do.
that.
It's a buddy effort. It's just a lot of me going and saying everything I'm doing, and every time I say something kind of wrong, it's just Stan's just like, buddy.
The first part becomes clear pretty quickly. None of the words are ones that are particularly complicated. The first part of the phrase, it looks like probably about 2 sentences in total between the 2 different languages. It says, "Gather the stars from within the stone, lest the way ahead be shown." And as you're looking at the wall, you see some of the different constellations that are illuminated here begin to glow in different colors, ranging in varying shades from there's a blue, a red, and a green that all kind of just pulse ever so slightly. In terms of, wait, what are you pointing?
No, I'm asking.
What's
I'm
up?
waiting to ask
Sorry,
questions.
sorry. Yeah, what's up?
No. After you get done, I'm
No, that's it. What's up?
okay. Well, can I roll to see if there are any giant flaming balls of gas in the stones?
Like a star in the stone?
Yeah, there's supposed to be stars in the stone.
Oh.
There's a video. Okay, you're going the absolute literal translation with that. Okay. I don't even know what that check would be. I want to take you seriously, but I can't. Investigation check, sure.
Yeah.
Or history to see if their knowledge of geology is such that there's any evidence of a star being embedded in stone.
No, I'd
26.
rather-
You don't find shit. There's nothing to suggest to you that there is a concentration of gases that form a star deep within any kind of stone that you have ever heard of. Stanislav.
Stanislav kind of thinks. Gregory, do you tell us this, by the way? What it says?
Oh yeah. I'm pretty much saying everything I'm thinking.
Stanislav kind of thinks and ponders for a sec while looking at the door and the different colors, and then it clicks for a sec, maybe, and he thinks, well, perhaps we should be looking for similar colored gemstones of some kind somewhere.
What it said in the stone?
Stars in the stone.
Stars in
Perhaps
the
if
stone.
we were to find a gem of corresponding color somewhere for each of these and place them within some sort of empty spot, if there is one,
Right.
that would open it.
Man, Tuca doesn't mess with smart doors, and this seems like a smart door.
Do I know
I'm sorry, Peter. I had to do a puzzle eventually.
Smart door.
What's up, Mr.
Apple
Maker?
door.
Do I know that these? You mentioned it before. I don't know if that was meta or what, but that the stars don't look like current stars.
They're not. I mean, how you don't have a particularly deep study of the cosmos and everything, but like you, as a kid, like your parents pointed out constellations to you, and they're like the standard ones that you would hear. These don't look like any of them.
Well, let's look for a star map then. This is a big old place. It's not like a library, or some shit.
DM, I'm gonna.
I think we need to go back to the town. First map of stars.
Okay, you're detecting magic. 100% magical. You see, like as you cast the spell, it becomes abundantly clear immediately. There's just an aura completely surrounding this door, and as you're looking at it, you see 3 spots all glowing, and it looks like they're about the size of a small gem. And the thing that stands out to you most of all is above the 3 of those is a slot that's probably the size of a fist, about my fist. More or less. And it looks like it is a slot for something else that is not currently illuminated, does not have any color on it.
Okay. I'm gonna, with that spell up, walk around the entrance of the cave for a bit and see if I could detect anything in the rubble or within a rock or something like that.
Doesn't appear to be anything that stands out in particular here.
Okay.
It seems like for the most part, it does look like there were traps at one point, but when this cavern collapsed, all the triggers for them would have like gone off, and like you can see bits of spear points that have broken off, and it looks like there were defenses here that were mostly destroyed by the collapse. But nothing stands out. The thing that strikes you as odd is beyond that door, there is a massive... How far does detect magic go?
60 feet. Is the door more than 30 feet.
The door
more
is
than a foot thick,
the
though?
door is 30 feet high, and it is well more than a foot thick.
And then I don't get anything from the other side.
Yeah, okay, good. Then it's just the whole door. What's up, Peter?
I have 2 clarifying questions.
Hit me.
Cool.
Number 1, is there any vegetation in this room that houses the door? And 2, second question, are there any like animals or creatures around?
You see a few insects kind of skittering through small cracks in the sandstone and stuff. It doesn't appear like there's any vegetation that grows this deep, apart from like the algae from where like the tidal pool in the back room where you just came from kind of meets. There is a little bit of plant growth there, but within the cavern you're currently in, nothing.
Excellent. I'll be
Pat, can you just repeat what that thing said again for me? So I can
The
write it
first
down?
puzzle: gather the stars from within the stone, lest the way ahead be shown. And then the second half, even though you don't speak it, you definitely recognize it as dwarven runes. You all have seen dwarven runes over the course of your. There you go. Put it in the chat. Hell yeah. I need to turn off chat previews. It distracts me every time. Hoot.
Ooh. Or sorry, DM. Who is kind of like the de facto leader of this this group, this encampment right now?
Probably be Furo and Orlyle, the two who you helped escape. You do know there's the emissaries from the Elven Conclave here as well. But it would probably be Orlyle who a lot of the decision making is coming from. There hasn't been a formal call for a leader just yet. People are kind of just stepping into leadership positions. It seems like Orlyle and his nephew have been cooperatively running the camp or the settlement so far.
It seems like the elves are there to work with the camp as opposed to being overseers of it.
Yep, that makes that checks out.
Okay.
By the way, as Stanislav had cast his spell, his eyes kind of lit up with white magic.
Ooh.
And he points to the 3 spots. I cast a spell that allows me to see magic, and there's 3 spots. It points them out where it looks like some sort of gemstone would go. But then there's this strange one, and he kind of like gets up on his tippy toes and reaches up to where it is, if he can.
You can't. It's like at 30. The door itself is probably 25, 30 feet high. It is massive.
Yeah. I just grabs a small pebble and chucks it up towards near where it is. There's a spot there and describes it. I'm not quite sure what would go in there. But it's definitely not like the other ones.
And it's kind of like carved into the rock. It looks like it has like a carve effect of a glow that would emanate from the stone. Like there's lines carved from that slot.
But there was no actual glow?
No, that was the only part of the door that
Interesting.
it glowed magical, like it had a
Yeah.
sense of being magical to you, but is the only part of the door that is not glowing as it has illuminated to the rest of you.
Oh, so the rest of it looks like those gemstones are already there, or
So you just
Still
see
up
like
front.
these images of constellations lit, and then you looked and saw these 3 points stand out, and they are empty. It appears like there's
Okay,
a star
gotcha.
missing from each constellation as you look closer.
Good. Okay.
yeah, I
Mantuka?
point that out to everybody.
Mantuka straight up is gonna go towards this door and look for like normal door shit, like fucking hinges, handles. Like he doesn't fucking care if it's a space door. He's looking for normal door shit.
Roll me an
Like,
investigation
like where the
check.
door meets.
Roll me an
Yeah,
investigation
yeah.
check.
Like
Stanislav gets a look of amusement and just kind of steps back and watches.
super rudimentary.
This whole
like,
thing, just you turn a knob, and then you get in.
Stan, we might be overthinking it. This might be the way to go.
investigation.
Go for it.
I cast
Nope.
Aloha Mora.
It's a solid piece of stone. There's not a handle on it. There's no hinges that you can see. It is a solid piece of stone. It looks like there isn't even a split in the middle. But you do pick up that big slot I talked about before that stands out above the rest of all of them. It does appear to be in the exact center of the door.
Okay, well you can't fault me. I tried to help. I'm gonna like walk back to like where the tunnel was born in, and I'm like, I'll stand guard in case things want to kill you. And,
it was worth a shot.
Thanks, buddy.
I'm not talking to you.
Oh.
It's a little hostile.
It's
All
just
I can-
Mantuka.
All I can think is if we ask the people who have been here for a while, maybe they've picked up a red stone or a green stone or a blue something. Maybe they found it.
Not a bad
Yeah.
bad idea.
Anyone who wants to, go ahead, roll me a history check.
Guidance on Gregory?
Greg's gonna need it.
Mine's +5 too.
I'm kind of a big deal.
You're
I
kind of a
got
big
nat
deal.
20.
Mantuka with a nat 20.
Mantuka, shit.
So immediately Mr. Maker and Mantuka pick up the stars within the stone is common jargon, I guess you could say, for gemstones. Among the dwarves, that's commonly what they're referred to, because when they're in the darkened mines and light reflects off of them from a torchlight or something, it looks like stars above them in the stone. So based on that, you think it's a pretty reasonable assumption that they're referring to specific gemstones. Not necessarily like specific in the sense you need a specific one, but you need a specific type.
You said it was red, green, and blue for the colors of the different
red.
energies, right?
Red, green, and blue. Yep.
Ruby?
Can you tell us that information? The red, green, and blue. Did you?
I
tell
Yeah,
us?
oh yeah.
I did.
I'm
Oh yeah,
not-
yeah. No, as I was like describing how it all
Yeah.
fit together, I was pointing out where the colors were and shit.
Beautiful.
Well, then we need, what is it? Ruby, sapphire, and emerald potentially.
Emerald, that's the one I was trying to think of.
I mean, that would make sense to me.
Let's see.
I just
Do
don't
have
know
any
about
of-
the last thing.
Even though you speak Dwarven.
Nah, shit. I don't have
You
any.
recognize it as Dwarven, though, right?
100%. Dwarven runes are very commonly seen everywhere. A lot of magic uses them. A lot of arcane language is in runes. It definitely stands out to you.
Cool.
You just
Gregory, I
don't
think you're right
understand
that
what it
we
says.
should talk. We should talk to the leaders, but we should also find somebody who speaks Dwarvish.
Ooh, yeah. Bring him along.
Have we seen? No, we haven't seen any dwarves like ever, really.
There's dwarves
Okay.
everywhere. Yeah, you've seen plenty.
Here?
Yeah.
Here?
Yeah,
Oh.
most of them do prefer to live within their communities and shit within the mountains, but like they're completely integrated into society. You've met at least one dwarven in Tavern Keeper in Lysia.
Right. Yeah, I remember that. Okay.
Yeah, they're just like they do generally prefer their mountain homes as opposed to, desert, but
They're less common down here, but they still.
there is a population of dwarves. In fact, with that 20 history check, what'd you roll, Stanny? A 10. You do know there was like, it is commonly known in the Imperium there was an ancient dwarven kingdom here at one point, possibly
in the south.
in the deserts, in the mountains, specifically. Though you found you don't know where you haven't actually seen it on the map yet. No one's
I haven't
actually
seen
showed
the
you.
outside. I have
Oh.
no idea where we are.
No one's gone outside. If you want, I can tell
On
you,
the
but if you
moon.
just want it to be a surprise, we can let
No,
it find out when you leave.
You showed us.
Yeah, he wasn't there. He was still sleeping.
I wasn't there. I wasn't there when you guys
Yep.
got here. I
Right.
was gone for a week.
What's up, Just? How you doing, me, Just?
We're basically on like the eastern coast of the Ember Steppe, kind of right in between Lycia and Pillarstone, but like on the coast. Or
You
like,
say those things for me. Like I remember the map in my head. I do not. I can barely remember a map in real life.
You also haven't
Subcontinent,
asked any. You
desert.
also haven't asked anyone
Yeah.
in game, so it just hasn't come up.
Yeah, no, I'm 100% down to be just like I have no fucking clue where I am.
Yeah, you have a nice
I
workshop
woke up
now.
in a cave, and now I'm
Underground.
living in a cave. I don't fucking know.
You got a sick workshop. You know you're coastal. You see the ocean
Jamaica
water.
goes
you
with the
smell-
flow.
Yeah, you smell the ocean at all times. It is quite pungent in here.
Everywhere there is someone who needs magical goods, and I can supply for coin.
Facts.
all right,
Facts.
well, let's go find Orlyle, I guess.
Yeah, that would be the first one I would ask too, just to see. There's not really like a market here yet, so I feel like that'd be the best person to start with.
Okay.
Alrighty then.
We're gonna go
Let's
track
try
down
that.
Orlyle. It's easy enough. He doesn't stray far. He kind of like resides between the. He goes to his lunches in the mess, and then he spends the rest of his time kind of in that area. You know where you met the elves in that
Clockwork.
kind of like
Yeah.
central meeting area with that large stone or silver basin in the middle. That's usually where he spends most of his time. He's got a little desk set up at this point. You're good.
Fancy.
Yep. Doesn't take you long to find. You kind of go in. You just find him hunched over a desk in this room writing stuff. It looks like he's pretty transfixed on his work, I guess you could say. He's very focused. He doesn't even notice you coming. That might just be his hearing. He is older than fucking time.
I go to like knock on the sandstone door and just like, hi,
Yes, hello.
hello. We're really sorry to bother you. And all of us here. I would just like walk in. We kind of have a couple of questions about something we found.
Yes, what is that?
Maybe you should sit down. I see he's sitting. Like, can we sit down? There's a lot to say. We'll say it quick. We found a big door. It's got a bunch of things glowing. Big woman. Giant.
You found a door and a giant woman.
It's got a big woman etched into the stars. Stan?
It was through where the cave-in was. We cleared it out and got to the bottom of the.
That
Yeah.
was faster than I thought it would be.
Can thank
You're
the young one
welcome.
for that. He's quite creative.
Thank you.
I picked up on that. He gives you a little hair ruffle. Oh, then maybe you could show me what you found then. And he stands up and
sure.
kind of leans on like a makeshift cane that has been fashioned for him. Looks like out of an old like ore. Looks like someone just cut an ore in half, and he's kind of leaning on it as a bit of a.
Quick question: do you speak Dwarvish by any chance?
I do, yes.
Oh, excellent!
Ooh,
That will make
two
this a lot
birds.
better then. There's some Dwarvish on the door that none of us can interpret. Hoping that you could help us with that as well.
I could try. It's been probably 100 years, but I could try.
Oh, I always forget about the hell. Oh, wow. Damn. Let's go.
Like-
Well, we're on the way.
Kind of hobbles. He's going average speed, but like it's a bit of a struggle. But he's,
I have to
he's
keep
keeping up.
stopping and
follow-
looking behind me.
I'm gonna follow his pace.
Okay,
What does
so
he look like?
Orlyle?
Yeah.
He's an elderly elven
Dead.
gentleman, like looks I mean, you know, elves can live like a couple thousand years. It looks like he's probably in his like the early thousands. Quite old. He's got like long white hair, wrinkled face. Even for an elf, the ravages of time are quite visible. And looks like he
Wisdom
was
beyond any of us could ever carry.
Yeah, probably
Mhm,
kept
mhm.
in enslavement for maybe not most of his life, but a good chunk of it.
Well, is he leading the pack? He's in front of everybody?
He's kind
No,
of
that'd be
following.
me.
He's kind of following Gregory
Not in
along
front of
and
me.
hobbling
I keep-
along a little bit.
I keep like scurrying ahead and stopping and looking.
Fairly silently behind him. I'd like to become him.
Okay, You guys very quietly just hear this very faint, wet, sloshing sound as a familiar Mr. Maker changes his shape into that of Orlyle, an old elven gentleman and
I like-
seemingly the
He ends
leader
up
of these
how
people.
he's walking too.
Okay, roll me a performance check for that, please.
I like stop, turn around, and wait, and I'm like, "Come on, guys, we gotta." Oh.
You nail it.
No.
You like fall into cadence, so the, like, your cane is even hitting the ground at the exact same time, so there isn't even like a difference in sound. Gregory, you look
Pro tip,
back.
if you want to follow someone without getting caught, that's how you do it.
Gregory,
You're
as
getting
you
really good at that.
you turn, you see Mr. Maker, or at least now you see two Orlyles walking in perfect unison down this path towards you.
I can't tell which one.
What do you mean, which one?
Turn around slowly. Just be excited for a shock. Deep
He
breath.
does like
Stanislav just
the
sighs.
really slow turn, and like every time you just hear his little cane pop on the ground. Turns, he sees you. He's like, "Oh, that is fascinating!" And he reaches out to like poke your face a little.
Go ahead, someone, young man.
Oh, I haven't seen someone that handsome in many years. Oh, it's beautiful.
Man.
Thank you.
It's like a
It-
mirror.
Old man up, roleplay.
it's so lifelike. Where did you find this mask? And keeps
It's
poking
not
your
a
face.
mask, young man. This is
Oh.
my face.
That's my face.
Oh,
He's shocked, but he's like, this is the coolest shit he's ever seen.
Yeah,
He's-
he's outdone himself this time. This is
Roll
amazing.
for stroke.
This is not another heart
After
attack moment.
expecting what happened last time is it was like ready to like catch him.
Mm.
Just kind of steps back and starts.
That
is amazing.
That is going to be very useful, young man. So handsome,
Yeah.
so handsome. He just starts making his way
Very useful.
along with Gregory. What's up, goblets? Welcome in, buddy.
That's so funny.
He's getting. I just like watch as they both walk by, and I'm just like, incredible. Anyway,
Oh,
shit,
The two
we're
of them
bonus.
in unison go down the stairs side by side now. Just leans into the bit. I did not. I'm in the middle of this right now, so I'll check all that shit after, man. Don't worry about that for now.
As we're walking, do you perhaps know of anybody here that we could procure some small gems from? It seems like we need a few different particular types
I'm-
to open this door.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not sure. Goblets, I'll think about it and let you know, dude.
Alright.
Let me focus on this right
We'll
now.
have to ask around.
Okay, sounds good. I don't think many of the former slaves brought gemstones with them, I'll be honest with you. Seems unlikely.
Perhaps I could talk to the Elven
What kind do
Conclave.
you need? He makes his way over to it. He sees the
Well,
door
there's-
now, and he takes a minute to look at the woman that's carved upon this massive sandstone door, and just kind of like opens his eyes and
I assume it's been about
my.
10 minutes, yeah?
probably.
Yeah, I'll recast Detect Magic just so that I can get a good beat on it. Well, and as Stanislav points him out, it looks like a red one or perhaps a ruby here, a green one or an emerald here, and then a blue one or a sapphire here. But then there's this one strange slot as he points up to where the cutout is.
He kind of has to like lean back to the point you almost like worried he's gonna keel over because like his back just doesn't go
Yeah.
that straight, so he has to lean really awkward.
Stanislav instinctively puts his hand behind him.
Thank
Oh,
and he-
evils wobble.
He looks up and sees
which one do you put your back behind?
it's the dwarvish.
We're both doing it, baby.
Gregory goes behind Mr. Maker.
It's oh no. It's the dwarvish you're having trouble with then.
None of us speak it.
You should
None of it.
learn. Should
Where did you-
learn.
I'm trying. There's a lot of languages coming up here. A lot of voices lately. Not bad ones.
When you've been
I'm-
alive for like 1,200 years or so, you pick up a thing or two.
Oh.
Fair?
He's like reads them. I'm not sure about the first part. That's not a language I understand. But
That was the part that we interpreted already, right?
yes, he gets to the second part. He says, "But even still, you'll need the key. The star of the king rests with he." That's it. Very cryptic. Not all that helpful.
Who's we got a library?
Roll me a history check.
Yeah,
Library,
does the
you
Star
have
of the King
not.
mean anything?
You have not seen any so far.
15. Does that count?
Mhm. 15 is basically what you need. Yeah. It kind of
Cool.
it varies. You got 15. Cool. Stanley's got 18.
21.
21. Mantuka. You gonna get in on
Oh,
the
am I
ship?
rolling this?
If you
All right,
want, it's up
history?
to you. History,
Sure.
yeah.
Nat 20 last time. I probably
Yeah,
get
you
one down.
never know what might happen.
Yeah,
You
7.
know, bookworm Mantuka. We all know it.
Okay.
Wait, does
Avid
everybody-
scholar.
So, Mantuka, you don't know shit. You don't know a damn thing. You've never heard of a reference to the Star of the Kings or anything like that.
Where am I?
Whereas Gregory and Mr. Maker, you've both heard references to it as some kind of ancient dwarven artifact of some kind, a massive gauntlet-sized gemstone, probably a diamond, though you haven't got all the details on that. Stanislav, on the other hand, who, while you're not the most educated man yourself, you have spent a fair amount of time in chains as a gladiator, and among that population were a pretty stout number of dwarves, a pretty solid number. They do tend to make very good gladiators. And every now and again, what was that?
So where are we gonna find it? I wasn't talking to you.
Oh, okay.
Saying-
My
Sorry.
bad. My bad.
I'm-
No, you're all
I'm
good.
Sorry, I didn't cut you off.
You're all good. Stanny, you've heard more references to it and like legends that they used to tell each other of these great dwarven heroes who live in this land. And the name that comes up quite often is Orlin Stoutstone. He was, by all accounts, or at least by all rumors, a great, ancient, and very powerful dwarven king who existed around the time that the Undara civilization crumbled. Based on the history check, you know there are rumors of an alliance between the elves and the dwarves at that time in an attempt to stand against the Magus Imperium, who at that time was colonizing this entire land and wiping out most of the populations that were here when they arrived. You know that the Star of the Kings was his symbol, his right to rule. It was passed down through his family from every ruler into the next, until the line ended with him. He was the last of the dwarven kings in the Ember Steppe, or in the Incendus Mountains, and by all accounts, that stone was laid to rest with him. However,
Oh, and grave robbing, boys!
you do recall as well, a number of years ago while you were still enslaved, there was a great kind of stir-up amongst the dwarven populations, as it appeared that the Star of Kings had in fact been found. An ancient tomb had been opened, or discovered, opened, and not as much ransacked as just kind of picked through. This was one of the artifacts that was found and reclaimed by the family that found it. And it now, if rumors are true, rests in a very private collection somewhere within the Imperium.
Oh, shit.
And that was all you've ever heard of it. And you got all that because you rolled very high. You do not know the name of the person who currently has the stone. You just know it exists, has been found by someone who has a predilection for robbing tombs, or exploring tombs, depending on your perspective.
We need to find a well-traveled dwarf.
Not
Regaling
necessarily.
the crew with this tale.
You do remember a major point of contention, something that upset the dwarves very greatly, is that the tomb was not excavated by dwarf.
Oh, great. So the key to this thing, this door, has been found, and it's with the Imperium.
Seems
don't
like
know.
it.
Metagaming? I don't think it is.
No?
Run it by me, we'll find out.
The place that Gregory was in doing excavation
Research?
shit. Do I know anything about? I don't think I know anything about their time in there.
No, I mean, apart from what Gregory might have told you all up to this point.
We've had a sleepover. I was like, have we had a night where we were both awake? Yeah, we have. There was probably a few moments.
Yeah, so like I don't know how much he's shared about certain visions he had in that time down there, but like you're aware of the existence of this large silver platter that has been found in the room where you currently now are speaking to Orlyle, or were, I guess, previously before he came to the door here. You're familiar with like the history of it a little bit. It was the capital of the Undara people, but beyond that, it's up to Gregory how much he wants to share with you.
Oh, I'm an open book, and if Mr. Maker asks me a question, I just want him to think I'm cool.
Yeah.
So it's up to you at that point then, but he does seem very intrigued by the woman who was carved on the stone door. Like that image took him aback completely.
Adolescent
Wait, what?
Gregory is very impressionable.
He said he's an open book. He's not hiding it.
In that case, did you see any like dwarven shit in that place where you mine? Like we're working in the camp?
Oh, down below there? Oh, geez. Truth be told, I got a little, my brain went a little kooky there near the end. I'll try to remember.
Yeah, not to this extent. Like the entire city, when you were descending into it, you gather it was a city at one point was above the desert, and over the 3,000 years since it fell, just got buried in sand over time and crumbled within on itself, and became this kind of massive underground ruin, or excavated ruin. As you got deeper and further, what's up, Amanda? Thank you for the raid. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Pew, 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 pew. Thank you so much for swinging in here with your community. I appreciate you. Hope you had fun with the evil within. You did notice as you got to the lower points, where you, about the area where you first had the vision of the Star Speaker, was there were elements of dwarven craftsmanship in that. Not to the extent you're seeing here in the sanctuary, though.
I can remember little bits of it, but not to this amount.
Well, so that's the only Imperium excavation I know of.
Right?
Yeah, there's a couple others, but you're unfamiliar with them. They're mostly along the southern coast.
I assume it'd have to be somewhere near here, though. Although I don't know where the fuck we are. So.
What's up, Stanislav?
Oh, right, we never told you.
Stanislav just kind of gets a ponderous look on his face for a second, then just kind of goes over to his side and sits down and closes his eyes. And if possible, I'd like to try and reach out to my new deity and ask him for guidance, any sort of advice or vision or anything as to the location of this star. I know I don't have divine, whatever the cleric thing is, but
Intervention.
I just want to. Yeah, divine intervention. I want to reach out to my new god and ask him for guidance.
Okay, what do you say? Give me a rundown of what it is you say to your deity to try and entreat him to aid you.
So, in Stanislav's mind, he's got his eyes closed. Horm, I've never done this before, so I don't really know how to say things right, but I need guidance. I don't know what lies behind this door, but I get a feeling that it is very important. Not to me, but to the survival of where we live. And I was hoping you could guide me or help me in any way to succeed in what I'm trying to do.
Roll me a persuasion check and a religion check.
Persuasion first? Or does it matter?
Doesn't matter. Okay. As they're all kind of examining the door, you take a moment and go place yourself kind of in a corner up towards the entrance of the cave, where you first came down the stairway, and you just kind of sit against the wall for a second, put your head down, take a minute, and just say these words to yourself, to your god, to whoever might be listening. You're not really sure how this kind of thing goes. You don't receive
Never done this before.
a response in the sense that someone speaks to you. But as you finish your prayer, you kind of look up as there is just a bracing wind that begins swirling out of the caverns below. It hits you and it fills you not just like you feel the wind, but it's the feeling that it gives to you as it kind of passes over you, and it steals your will. You know that whatever path you are on at this point,
Danny, you gotta get it back.
is the right one so far. Doesn't seem like he has, or whatever it is, has any answers for what lies ahead of you. But he does, or there is a reassurance that your path up to this point is true. Unfortunately, you're still kind of new at this, and it takes
Very much so.
pretty sizable amount of something to get a god to speak to you. But there's a reassurance there. And then the thing that catches you off guard. Roll me an intelligence check real quick. I appreciate you lurking, Mystics. Or survival, actually. Your choice. Doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah, I'd much rather do survival.
Okay,
if that's
do
okay.
survival. Go ahead.
It doesn't matter.
It's the worst. I'll flash genius it anyways.
Okay, with a flash
Can
of
I
genius.
guidance it?
Yeah, you can, sure, if you want.
Okay.
It's a check.
Can you paint with all the colors of the wind?
So,
Okay, so
11
with
plus
flash of
5?
genius is
plus
12.
16.
16.
Yeah.
I was gonna say 12 plus 4, but you did the opposite. Anyway, 16 is enough to at least get your bearings. You feel as the wind kind of rushes off, it ends its direction in a kind of southwesterly direction. And it's strong. Like, it noticeably lingers that direction for a moment before it fades. That's all you get.
Does anyone
Knowing
feel this wind? Not like the steel willing, but like
Nope.
is the wind actually there?
You guys do not. You do, if any of you look up at Stanislav, who's kind of sitting on top of the stairs right now, looking out. You do see his hair blowing in the wind, more so than usual. Like, it is physically having an effect on him. You do not feel it or hear it from where you are.
I have no reason to look at that. I was just curious.
Is there anything I know of noteworthy settlements or anything like that in that general direction, based off of where I know we are now?
Roll me an intelligence check. Or survival, actually, because this is to do with knowing your geography. I'm going to say that's more survival-based.
No, not this time.
Okay. In terms of the layout of the Ember Steppe itself, you know there's quite a few larger settlements to the southwest. You have, debatably from where you are, southwest could get you to Tursa, could get you to Gezmir, could get you to Lysia, for all you know.
Could get me into the ocean.
Yeah.
Do you tell me this?
Well, you kind of just see this wind die down and his hair goes back to just kind of lightly flapping.
They're just lightly blowing in the wind, as opposed, like, before when you saw him, it was like a gale force wind was blowing his hair around, but there was no wind to be felt.
What the fuck is wrong with your hair, bro?
Well, it normally just kind of does the little bit, but I tried to speak to Torm just now, and I may have gotten a little bit of help from him. It was interesting.
You talked to talked to Torm?
I tried to.
Well, what'd they say?
Wow.
Well, he didn't really say anything, but he reassured me that I'm on the right path, and I mean, I don't know if you saw the wind, what it was doing to my hair, but it sort of gave me a direction, but I can't really figure out exactly where. It was kind of a general, and he points that way direction.
Oh.
I see if I have any survival to see if I know what would be that direction.
Roll me a survival check to see which direction he is gesturing to, and a history check while you're at it, please, to see if there's anyone who...
I will
Oh,
guidance the
fuck.
heck out of you.
Okay.
Oh, never.
Damn. So
Lord,
survival,
Lord,
not
Lord,
great.
Lord,
survival,
Lord.
survival, not great. You have no idea which way he's pointing because you have no fucking idea where you are. You woke up underground.
That is so true. That is so
Yeah,
true.
yeah, it worked. The dice have spoken. No one thought to tell you exactly where you are located. It just hasn't come up in the day and a half since you've woken up. So you have
where
no
are
idea.
we, by the way?
Yeah, you have no idea where he's pointing. But you do know that of anyone within the Ember Steppe, or the Magus Imperium in general, who would be a collector on that level, who would be essentially an adventurer themselves, who would infiltrate a dwarven tomb and extricate an entire king-sized diamond. There's one family, specifically, that is responsible for these kind of activities, mostly within the Imperium. They're known as the Druhila family. Spelled 2 words. DRU''HILA. They have an estate in the city of Lysia. A great, literal oasis in the middle of the desert that the city has been built around. They have a massive estate in which they house their collection of ancient artifacts that they have collected over several generations. You don't know if they're the ones who have the stone, but you definitely know that they're probably going to be the people who know who does if they don't have it themselves. That being said, you still have no fucking idea where you are.
Yeah. I will relay this information and at the end be like, probably that direction.
Probably?
Roll me a d8, please. 1 is going to be north.
Yeah.
One second. I just want to see where he's going to point.
Going 3.
Now you point in the exact wrong direction. You point to the east. Yeah, absolutely the wrong way. He's like, it should be about that way, and then points to where you all know the sea is.
I grab him and rotate him.
Probably that way. I pointed where he pointed.
Okay.
That's what.
Loosely that.
Under the sea.
Under the sea.
That's what I meant.
Being me with my history, does the name Druhila mean something to me more or less instantly?
Roll me a
Having
history check.
fought and gladiatored in Lysia?
You probably know them, but not for the reasons you think you do.
Oh.
Yeah. So, once he meant, Mr. Maker, do you mention this to the party, or do you keep that information to yourself? So, we had a gift of advantage to Gregory already today. So, Stanny, as soon as Mr. Maker says that name, it clicks for you. They're literally renowned for being a family of treasure hunters and dungeon devils. It's what they do, collectively as a family. The reason you're aware of them is because they are the probably only substantially wealthy family within the Imperium who does not participate in its to put it straight, yeah, it does not participate in the slave labor that is so commonly seen around the Imperium. They have no conquered enemies. They have no reason to own anybody. In fact, you know for a fact a lot of times they have spoken against it, but don't outright act against it because their residence is set up there. But you do know that everyone there is employed and paid to do the work they are due. Or are doing.
Probably have a bit of reverence for that name then.
Possibly. They do not participate in the gladiatorial matches, save for once a year during the large festival that takes place. One that you're actually familiar with, you fought in it yourself. The Tournament of Champions, where you first fought in the
and won.
And won. Yeah, you did win. And then were promptly almost
at what
captured.
cost?
Yeah, absolutely. I get disadvantage. Thanks, Goblets. I appreciate it, buddy.
What's up?
Fuck you, Rusty.
You cut out there.
All this stuff.
You cut out like halfway through what you're saying, Mr. Maker.
That doesn't mean we can't murder them and take all their stuff.
Sure doesn't.
Well, we may have figured out who has it.
It's a really good guess if you're asking me.
The only problem is that we'd have to go to Lysia.
In the Imperium.
Yeah.
So
And
we got
I'm
out of slave labor and we're going back in.
Absolutely not.
Okay, good.
Mantuka, you have D6 inspiration dice from Goblets and Warlocks.
I didn't exactly
Sweet, thanks very much.
I didn't exactly leave that place on the best of terms. Now, I don't know how much that leather freedom from my former master will mean there. But I know that there are some people there that would be happy to see me in more than one piece.
Like, you're not being sarcastic, right? They'd be
Not-
actually happy?
Not in the slightest.
Oh, okay.
I could go.
Yeah? Manchuka? You coming?
Oh, yeah.
We all know what happened last time I tried to disguise myself.
That's what I'm saying. It might be easier to have a smaller group of us go.
Especially someone with your talents for disguise, Mr. Maker.
Oh, that's true.
Manchuka can stay here, and I'll train the troops. Those fuckers don't know what's hitting them.
Oh, dear God.
Well, I mean, I have to stay here because I can't. I mean, I could go to Lycia. It would be so risky. I would
feel
have
like
to
the
hide,
second-
and I'd have to get smuggled in.
Yeah, I bet you anything. They'd tell stories about you.
Last time we took all the time to get disguises and everything, you guys read head first into a slave camp. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, Stanislav, roll me a. I want to say intelligence, but I know that's not good. Roll me a wisdom check. Just straight wisdom for me.
9.
If you guys want me to come with you,
Not great. You know there are ways to travel secretly through the Imperium, paths that guards don't take, that roads that aren't commonly used, literal safe passes through the entire
Guess I did grow up here.
Ember Steppe. You did grow up here. In fact, I'd say roll with advantage based on that.
Okay.
You don't necessarily know where those secret paths are. You have no idea where any of these paths are, but you do know it is relatively feasibly easy to travel through the Ember Steppe without much interaction with the Imperium. It is a massive expanse of sprawling desert. The only
Not so much to
settlement...
travel.
Yeah.
Once we're there.
Yeah, you know the true danger would be within the walls of Lycia itself, but for the trip, it would be doable to travel as a group.
Oh, it still scares me though. I can't. Not only can I not do that again. I couldn't deal with any of you guys being in there again.
Mr. Maker is, since the last time that we split off for a few seconds and they got captured, she's in character. There's no way he's on board with it.
Yeah, it's so scary
If
to
we get
think.
all the way out there and you guys end up getting captured again while I'm away, I don't think it's going to be as easy to get you guys out this time.
Oh God,
I
no! They'll
don't
stick us
think-
somewhere.
I don't think they'll stick us anywhere. I think that would be the end of the land for us.
Yeah, they'd stick us in the ground.
I think it might be for the best to get maybe someone from here to come with me to help watch my back. Somebody
Yeah.
that can keep themselves disguised pretty well.
Well, the way you put it, I think we should all go then.
What do you mean?
Alicia, we should all go.
How so? I said
Well-
the exact opposite.
Well, getting there wouldn't be that much of a problem. I mean, I grew up here. I know that we can travel without getting detected. And if these people are as sympathetic to slaves as we think they are, perhaps they would harbor us.
I mean, it's to
Stan,
get-
I think you say he wants to do a stealth mission. The exact opposite of what you were trying to say.
yeah, just sneak in, get the thing, get out, come back.
Sounds simple. Although I don't think something like that will be kept under a light lock.
Right.
Probably not, but I am sure that someone around here has a similar penchant for stealth. Cough, cough, line axe, cough, cough.
Oh, yeah. Actually, that's kind of the first person I thought of too.
Not a bad
If we
idea.
can convince him to come with me, watch my back. You guys continue to train the soldiers here.
Unfortunately, Lynax is, well, he's not going to be here for much longer.
Oh.
Nope, because he's coming with me to at least.
He has other duties, I am afraid.
Oh.
What are you doing, old timer?
Oh,
You can scout
He kind of he kind of puffs up a little bit. He's like, "I'll go with you now. It's well past my time, big fellow."
Oh. Yeah. No offense. we all have skills that are important, and I'm gonna stop talking.
All Mantuka does is try to help the group, but he gets shut down at every avenue.
No, we like a lot of your ideas.
I remember that one time you turned into a tinier Tuca. Can you do that for extended periods of time?
It's not a very long time. I can probably pull it off for... What is that again? It's the second level spell?
Let me check my spell book here.
First level spell. It lasts an hour.
Let me check
but
my
I've-
spell book.
I guess 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Got like 12 shots of it, so yeah, a good half
Sorry, I'll
day.
be right back.
Having lived in the Imperium for as long as I did, right in the capital, I would
Yeah.
assume I had seen maps.
Yeah. Yeah.
So can you give me?
I just assume you guys have a map on you at any given time at this point. I feel like you guys have bought maps during the course of 37 episodes.
I've
Could
got
be
it
wrong.
tattooed on my stomach.
About how
love
far
that.
away from
Kieran
the,
with the raid. Let's go. What's up, buddy? About how far
Kieran.
from what?
how far away from the entrance to the city is would I think they would be living? Because if they're one of the only wealthy families that don't have slaves, I assume they're probably pretty well known for their location.
They're extremely wealthy, and they lived in the wealthiest district of Lysia, which is the kind of northwestern portion of the city. It's on its own like little island. It's completely like the only way to get to it is via drawbridge, and there's probably about 6 estates there. Theirs probably being the largest or close to it.
So it would take how long to get there, roughly?
Walking through the city?
Yeah.
Probably an hour at most. Maybe much less. It's not a huge city. It's this very cramped oasis city that's built up as opposed to out.
Okay.
So, like, at most, you're looking at a 40-minute walk through the city. At best, like, it probably 20 minutes.
So we could do that.
Easily. Easily doing.
Okay. You know, once we start putting it all down in words, I'm starting to feel a little more confident about it.
You know what they say about splitting the party? It's always a good idea.
I've literally never heard anyone say anything bad about that. Yes.
It always
Perhaps
ends
we-
well every time.
Perhaps we could all make the journey together, but then Mantuka and I don't enter the city.
Well, my point is, if you're not entering the city, wouldn't it be better for you to stay here where you're doing helpful work anyways?
I would point out that the Ember Steppe is a very dangerous place. And
Very much so is.
if my geography is correct, it's been a while. I haven't left that camp for quite some time. It's about a 6 or 7 day journey on foot. Probably more.
Well, we wouldn't be going on foot.
He just, like, takes a second to look around.
Do you see
Where are you
any
gonna get a
horses?
horse around here?
Mechanical horse. Don't worry, we'll take a few months. I'll build them. It'll be fine.
I mean, if you want to take a few months, I suppose the rebellion can wait.
And he just snickers to himself and starts walking back up the stairs with his, like, cane. Just clacking on the stone one at a time, very judgmentally.
That old man is a sass master, and my God, I love
I'll
him
come
for it.
rouse you when we leave, old timer.
Stanislav puts his hand on your shoulder, Mr. Maker. Well, I don't doubt that you could absolutely pull that off. We just don't have the luxury of that much time right now.
Fair
Right.
enough.
I have 43 gold.
And trust me, you'll want capable warriors with you. Not that you
Fair
can't fight, but you'll want us with you in case some of the things that I know are out there show up.
Out of character, somebody else is gonna have to take the charge and convince him of this, because last time he split off from you guys got captured and put in a slave camp, so he is not on board.
You know, I'm scared of that too. I really am. I'm also really scared of splitting up again. The less time we spend split up, the happier I think I'm gonna be.
It's a fair point, but
Honestly,
I think-
you
I
live
think to
there.
get into the city, we might have to.
You
he
live
did.
there.
He did.
Do you know where a hiding spot? Do you know of like a cove or somewhere that you guys aren't gonna get fucking detected.
Well,
Nice.
no, we'll
Stolen.
stay about a few hours journey away from the city. We just won't get close enough that they'll see us anyway.
Stanny, roll me a survival check with advantage because you're very familiar with the Ember Steppe.
Do you remember some secret nooks?
There's so many.
What is so-
13. There you go.
Secret nook.
A 1 and a 13.
A
So,
secret garden.
17.
17.
Yeah,
17
secret
is
garden.
The secret garden. So you know,
Yeah.
first and foremost, Lysia is built just in this oasis that is almost dead center of the Ember Steppe. To the southwestern side and leading up into the Incendus Mountain is this massive range of cliff sides that has this sprawling path that kind of winds up of it. And you know for a fact, like within 30 minutes of Lysia, there are probably 100 caves, which you could take your pick. There is no shortage of hiding places in the Ember Steppe. It is literally hundreds of kilometers of empty space.
Okay.
As Stanislav says this.
Yes, I figured.
Okay.
Secret garden.
I was like, is Stanislav a duck now?
yeah, he's just telling me I talk too much.
Oh god, he's cursed again!
Oh no, the curse of duck!
The curse of quack.
He's a
good.
quack
You
addict!
know I'm making that happen. Yeah, you're gonna get the
No!
the rod
know
of the
quack.
quack addict. There you go. Some quack addict's gonna give you his rod, dude. What's up, Tark? How's it going? We're getting some riffing in. We love the riffing. Everyone go show some love to Tark. Girthmog
Alright,
in the
well-
flesh, dude.
Might be the best plan we get. I think I would definitely trust you two to be able to pull that off. I mean, look at me. I'm a shiny gold man. And
You're a beacon of many good things, but unfortunately a beacon nonetheless.
I'm also I have a bit of a reputation in Lycia that's not that great.
Right.
As I said.
Worst comes to worst, I can always just I kick my boots together, fly us out of there.
Ooh. Yeah, I as long as I'm not too tired, I could do the same.
Mantuka
Okay.
has no ability for magic. And Mantuka once had a
Yes, you
slut
do.
phase too, Stan. It's okay.
You've
Soon
got
you'll
your
die,
jazz
forget.
your jazz tiara.
You do have the jazz
Well-
It
tiara.
blasts, motherfuckers. It doesn't fly me anywhere.
Have you ever
Goddamn
tried handing
fairy.
it down?
And you're very talented at using it.
I get 1 use per day. I ain't trying to do weird shit.
That'd be actually
All
really
right,
cute.
well-
Tears of the Kingdom shit.
There's all the physics engines.
It seems like we have a plan. I
Okay.
think we should depart as soon as we can.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Back,
wait.
back into the belly.
Mr. Maker does not want to give off the fact that he has no clue where we are.
That's
How long are we thinking it's gonna take to get there?
Anywhere between 2 days and 30.
Yeah, no, where Lyle mentioned is probably about a 7-day trip on foot. It'd be faster if you took the main roads, but you're traveling over sand dunes for
Can't
most of
do
it.
that.
Yeah, Mr. Maker, it becomes pretty clear to at least Stanislav that maybe you're a little confused about where you are.
Okay. I'm gonna. All right. So I'm gonna do my best to draw a very crude map in the gravel, in the sand or the dirt of the Ember Steppe. Put a
Gotcha.
dot where Lycia is. Put a dot where Pillarstone is, and then put a dot where we are.
A map out of my backpack.
I put the players onto the map. There you go. And you can see it. So
Do
in
you
terms...
actually have a map of the Ember Steppe?
Yeah, of course. It's on Roll20 right now. Are you not seeing it?
No, I mean like do us as our characters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you bought...
We did.
That's like the first thing you
Right.
bought. Very
yeah,
first
okay.
game, like before we even streamed the campaign, Mike bought maps.
Right.
I just assumed he
All right,
passed them
well,
to
in
you
that
when he
case-
left the campaign.
I stole them from him.
Yeah, there you go. Mr. Maker, in terms of where you are on the... Yeah, like, you guys could just bust out a paper map. You don't have to draw shit in the
Oh.
sand. You have basic
I pull out my
adventures.
paper map that I remember that I own.
Can't put a rock on each corner.
Yeah.
Mr.
Yeah.
Maker, do you see where Nisal is, where you made a deal with that devilish individual? On the second mountain to the north of that, you're kind of tucked on that little coastal inlet. And, like, the camp you liberated is right there. You're not far from it at all. But you're seemingly in a very well-hidden coastal cave system.
Right beneath their noses.
Right beneath it, beneath the noses.
Sit
What?
across the nose, not up it.
Have we considered making an earthquake?
Why?
Take out the whole city.
Oh.
Depends
I
on how
mean,
far the days go.
Lycia is in the middle of the desert.
But Pillarstone isn't.
We don't need to go there, though.
I'm not saying right now. I mean,
Yeah.
we're doing a rebellion thing.
It's pretty deserty.
Right, yeah. That's good to remember for
Future genocide.
future genocide, right?
Yeah, future genocide.
All right, well,
Rainy day fun.
let's get all supplied up and get ready to leave in the morning.
Right.
Hey, you do know you got to leave at low tide, so
Yep.
quite early in the morning.
Oh.
Yeah, you gotta catch that morning tide, or you're waiting until afternoon.
Oh,
I know
yeah.
you can do that. You got
I'm
those.
from
Come with
PEI,
me.
I know
Yeah,
this.
well, we got them fundy tides here. That's here.
Oh,
We got
no.
that shit. Yeah, we got that Bay of Fundy
Oh, yeah.
going on. We all know what's
Everybody
up.
look at the moon.
You all.
Isn't there a rock there that's shaped like this, more or less? It's
Yeah,
on,
the,
like, a
ho-
little
the,
bitty-bitty-
we have like the Hopewell rocks. We have all kinds of
Yeah,
shit
yeah.
kicking around.
Yeah.
We had a
so-
bunch
but-
of them that got destroyed in the hurricane.
You guys
Oh,
all.
shit.
Oh, they did. Yeah, a bunch of them broke.
Yeah.
That
It
sucks.
was sad.
Very
They
sad.
had to change a bunch of postcards.
Oh no! Oh no! Not the
No, not the
postcards,
postcards.
dude.
You did the postcards. Gotta change
Rough.
them by Jace.
It's insane that you think that changing postcards is something anybody does.
That's true. They probably
Yeah,
did.
probably didn't even
I
bother.
know they
even
didn't.
bother. So,
They have the exact same pictures. They're like, this is as
Meredith, bring me the Sharpie.
all right. So, you all spend the rest of the day preparing for your journey the following morning, planning to leave at low tide. What's up?
I forget the name of the dude who I'm gonna kind of put in second in command of the militia.
Oh.
Who's him again?
Oh fuck if
And
I
who
know.
I
I'll
was
check my
talking to.
notes on the break and let you know.
I'm gonna just talk to him and let him know that we're gonna be gone for
Yeah,
a couple
I
of
remember.
weeks.
The kid there that you
retrieving an
got.
important artifact, and that I want him to be in charge of keeping everybody motivated and on the schedule that I've
Yeah.
set for them.
Yeah, I can do that. I can handle that. Any extra drills you want me to run, or just the same shit you showed us?
Pretty much just the same stuff I showed you.
Yeah, I got it, Chief. No worries. I got it covered, Goldman. Go be safe. I got you covered. He just goes back to what he's doing. At this point, they're already doing their like afternoon training right after lunch and stuff. You all spend the rest of the day preparing for your journey in the morning and tuck in for an early evening of sleep. At this point, we're gonna go ahead and take our first break because we're about an hour and a half in. I really need to use the bathroom. So we'll be
That's
back.
why I left in the middle too.
I know, I figured. We'll be back in about 10 minutes, folks. Please do not go anywhere. I want to thank everyone coming in. We got Tark, we got Insomnia, we got Goblets, Dabibs, we had Abe's in here, JTB, everybody who's in here. Kieran with the raid, Grim with the raid. Y'all the best. We love y'all very much. We'll be back.
We love you.
With the battery. We'll be back
Hey, Hel.
in 10 minutes. See y'all soon. Oh, not your underwear. What's up, everybody? We're back. We're here.
Underpants.
We love underpants. Let's
Pew, pew, pew,
go.
pew. We do.
Pew, 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 pew. I believe Mr. Maker is taking care of some stuff. He'll be back momentarily. In the meantime,
Oh, he there.
Oh, there's a hand. That was creepy as shit. Oh, there he is. I don't even notice a difference. It's
Adam's
exactly
family shit. I love it.
It's exactly the
Is he
same as
wild
it always
shaped?
was. Yeah, he's wild shape into the thing or whatever the fucking hand was. Thing. That's it.
Yeah,
So
just
that's
thing, I
good.
think.
Just comes right into frame.
Stuart is actually a human druid. He's just canonically always wild shaped.
Yeah, he got stuck there. Like it just doesn't turn off. Makes sense.
So,
You all didn't quite solve the riddle, but at least feel like you got the pieces of it in place where you can at least now start collecting the things you need to finish it and get that door open. A series of gems and one particularly special, very ancient, very, very renowned gem once held by a king of dwarves. The gems in the background was a jump scare. Hell yeah, we love that. Sorry, I apologize for jump scaring you. Welcome back. Thank you, Boof guy. Appreciate it. So, now knowing where your destination lies, or at least a rough idea of it, according to what Mr. Maker has told you, if you can trust the information someone that Shady gives you, up to you.
I trust him with my life.
I love you too, bud. You all decide The following morning is the time to leave. You spend the rest of the day prepping your stuff. I'll tuck in for a good night's rest. And you awake the following morning.
Everybody important know where we're going.
I was going to say, if there's any conversations with anyone you wanted to have before we go, now is the time. What's everybody going to do before heading out? Starting from, let's go with Peter, because he had his hand up first.
Mantuka would like to purchase a human.
That's not how that works.
No! We are fighting against that!
You've become the very thing you swore to destroy.
Okay, so how are you?
In exchange,
how are you going about that? Like, what do you? Okay, what do you like?
I will teach him to defend himself.
Okay.
And he will be my squire.
Okay, I mean, I can't just give you a person. Like, are you approaching somebody?
I'll pay for him. I have 43 gold.
No, are you approaching somebody? Are you like asking around?
I will
What do you?
start at training camp.
Okay.
And I will start with one of the horribly trained soldiers.
Okay.
Yeah, because they love you.
Absolutely.
Pick one of the brothers.
So, Mantuka, you're bright and early waiting at the trading grounds for the crew to roll up, all your new trainees. You see them very sluggishly coming in, probably about 15 minutes after, like, I'd say just, like, it would be in terms, like, we don't really have a clock handy, but it'd probably be around 5 a.m., very bright and early. You get them out of bed and training super early. So, you see them begin to file in, the usual crew, the two brothers, Yerik and Yurik, the massive barbarian individuals who are perpetually sunburnt, their fair skin not doing so well in the sun. You have your pick of the litter. They're all immediately intimidated as you make your way inside. You see them all looking at you quite apprehensively and kind of filing into line. Yurik and Yerik, on the other hand, were quite okay with your teaching methods, and they're right at the front, arms crossed, muscles bulging, and just ready. Like, there's testosterone in the air, and they're here for it.
All right, bring it in.
They
and we're like
kind of huddle around you a
inverted
bit.
banana, and bring them in.
Okay.
I have an opportunity for those of you, one brave soul who wants to kick off the confines of training and do some OJT.
Someone from the back. OJT?
On the job training.
Everyone, roll me a persuasion check with disadvantage because of how you treated them during their first training session.
I think you mean with advantage. Persuasion?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to intimidate them using your strength, you can, but you're going to need to come at it a little different than you just did. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That is not the two, unfortunately. So you kind of lean in. You're all enthusiastic. You're excited. You're like, this is a good idea. This is great. I'm going to have someone to follow around, carry on my shit. To them, you just see terror on their face. Like, they're under the impression you're going to bring them into, like, the heart of a battle and probably get them all killed. There's no volunteers right off the bat. Might have to change up your methodology a little bit there.
I know you're thinking I'm going to bring you in the heart of battle. And I will. But on our way to the battle, I will teach you how to defend yourself. You don't have to come to the battle. You just observe. You take notes. You make a story of Mantuka.
Roll me a persuasion check, not at disadvantage, just straight, because
That's probably where I'm going to roll
to
horrible.
him.
I mean,
Probably.
fuck yeah.
Probably.
Persuasion. Come on, Big Daddy. And
Okay.
you know what? I'm even gonna roll my my D6.
Yeah, you got that
if you allow me.
inspirations, 100%.
I got a 2. I just rolled it physically.
Okay, hell yeah. So 15 total. At this point, like, you see a couple are like, okay, that sounds... A couple of the more adventurous ones are like, that sounds cool. Like, you can see it kind of beginning to appeal to a couple of the individuals there. The two brothers both seem like ready to go with you. You kind of have your pick of the litter with that one. Is there anyone you want in particular? Is just whoever's most keen, or what's your process? You can now select who you want. What's your selection process here? You're picking
Adopting
teams.
a puppy at the SPCA.
Basically,
I
we're gonna need
want
you to
the
fill out some
ugliest
forms. Make sure if
creature.
you're living in an apartment, you have the consent of your landlord. You know. You want the most what?
Ugliest creature.
Okay, roll me
Like
perception
just
check.
like. Oh fuck, perception.
You get to roll a bunch of dice today. We're having fun.
Yeah.
Roll low. They all ugly as fuck.
They're all
Ooh.
pretty.
24.
Okay. Damn. All right. So kind of near the
There's a
back.
mirror in the corner you look at.
Kind of. Rough. In the back, you see this one man. He looks probably in his 20s, quite small, a little gangly. His teeth are quite crooked. One's kind of like off to the side. The center line is like very Tom Cruise-esque. It doesn't quite line up with his nose. It's just he's unhomely, or he's homely. Like he is unbecoming in every way, and he kind of smells a little bit. That's your guy. That's your guy right there.
Don't
Hey,
bring
you!
him with us.
He looks up and he's like,
Smelly. What's your name?
It's Pete.
Pete.
My name is Pete. There's a very like mousy voice. He doesn't strike you as particularly capable as a warrior, but he might be good at carrying your shit.
Battle Cat it is. Come on. You're mine.
Help me. And you kind of lead him away.
Hesitation's futile. I'm way bigger than you. Let's go make adventures.
Okay, so you have Pete.
I lost baby Gregory, and I got little Battle Cat that's homely as shit.
Little Pete?
Pussy Pete.
He's a human. He's not
using my own name, and I'm not calling this character Pete.
His name is Pete.
It's juvenile, and he's better than that.
His name is Pete. I don't know what to tell you, man.
Battle Cat
Battle
is my
Cat.
playa name. That's fantastic.
But he's not a cat. He's a person.
Oh no,
He's
I mean like
Manchuka's cat.
he's a pussy.
Damn it.
Or that.
Okay, fine. What's up, Mr. Maker? You can go next.
Meow.
You and Pete step to the side.
AKA Battle Cat.
Just nickname him Smelly. How about we just call him Smelly from
Yep.
here on? Okay.
Smelly
Okay,
cat.
I was trying to I
Smelly
didn't want
cat.
to get heat for calling another human smelly. I didn't want to go down that, but yeah, fuck yeah.
We
Smelly.
call out BO on this stream, okay? It's the reason I don't fucking go to Comic-Con, dude.
I'd like to walk in as Mantuk is walking out.
Yeah, you see Mantuka walk out with this very scared-looking man, very mouse-like individual, freckled, teeth kind of at a weird angle to the right. Very, very homely individual.
As Mantuka's walking by, I want to pat him on the back. I say, "Nice pick of flesh shield. I'm going to get me one."
You see Pete, you see Smelly, you see Pete just turn like, what, a flesh? I won't even cover half your body.
Deal made, deal made.
You're turning into Stanislav.
As he turns, he watches me morph into Stanislav.
No.
Yeah, you turn into Stanislav, and you walk through the cave into the entrance, like the little entry area where it looks like there was once probably a little trading post set up here back when this was still a settlement. Currently acting as a little bit of a de facto barracks. It looks like there's a lot where the troops are camped out and some of the higher ups in the military. But you do see the group of individuals looking all quite puzzled, ready for training, but just a little taken aback. And you see one individual, younger man, looks probably low 20s, is trying to get everyone like gathered in a line and start running drills, and he's having some trouble and they're dealing with the aftermath. And he sees you walk in and he's like, "Oh, I thought you were leaving. Good to see you. You guys heading out?"
Well, 1 second before we do any of that, I have a stack of papers in my hand.
Oh, that's yep.
Without really addressing the guy that was addressing me back, I start passing the papers out.
Okay, this is
Everybody there.
interesting. What are you doing with these? Do you hand him one?
Yeah, I'll hand him one too.
He reads it. What does it say?
It is just a bunch of math problems.
Oh, this is mean. You can't make me do math problems. You fucker.
A questionnaire.
You fucker.
Giving him a skill test.
I need you to name pi to 20 places, please. 20 decimal points.
While Stanislav doesn't know this is going down, he would wholeheartedly approve.
You see the two brothers, Yurik and Yerik, both holding the paper upside down.
I immediately discount them. I don't focus on them at all.
Yeah, no, they're like, they flip it right, and there's like even less recognition on their faces. Like,
even more puzzled.
Yeah, they're even more out of it. These are not your guys. Like, these are not it.
All of you fill this out and give it back to me.
Okay. We're gonna roll the top 5. We're gonna roll 5 d20s, and whoever's number 5, like the highest, is gonna be the winner. Okay.
Don't they have like 2 weeks to do this?
You guys are leaving today.
Yeah.
So, like, they sit down and begin, like, rushing out doing these math problems. And there's one individual in the back. Younger woman, looks probably around, like, mid-20s, getting towards her 30s. Looks like... What's up, Stanny?
Wait until you're done this. I'm gonna do my thing in a moment.
Yeah, she has a bit of a bruise across her chin, too. Looks like she probably took some hits during training the other day. Mantuka, she's quite familiar to you if you had been there. This is the first one to finish. She's a young human woman. Looks like she got most of the answers correct. Some of the more puzzling science-based questions kind of stumped her a little bit.
Need to also to say, while Stanislav's hair is usually, blowing around, doing his crazy thing, the hair that I've got, I couldn't quite replicate it right.
Yep.
So it's just kind of droopily hanging there, and it's just less golden than usual. It's kind of like
a bob cut?
like a bronze. No, it's like a bronze version of his gold.
Okay. Real quick. We're gonna roll a collective insight for the group. Just to see.
Mom, can we get Stanislav on the way home? We have
Roll
Stanislav
me-
at home already.
Roll me
Stanislav at home.
Roll me a deception or performance at advantage, because you are in the shape of Stanislav. Yes. Okay. Doesn't seem like they see through it, and they're puzzled by the math questions. They didn't peg Stanislav as the type of person who would be giving them a math handout. But she's the one who seems to have done the best on it.
All right, so that's the top. Those 5 are
Those
top.
those are the top scores.
Okay.
So, like, mostly everyone but her does pretty bad. The 9, I'd say, was average.
Well, I will take. I want to get the 2 that were at the top, the 9 and the 14.
Okay, so you get the 14 was the young woman I described, and then the 9 is a smaller gnomish individual who looks a little out of place, but you notice that he's kind of standing next to, like, someone with a bigger shield. Looks like he's getting ready to stab underneath it, like that's his role. He's the guy who runs through the shield wall, stabbing people in the legs and balls. He's the 9. He seems a little smarter than the rest of the crew around him. He's got a little bit of a touched look. It seems like he's maybe been through some shit.
Look.
And it's been like something's just not right. Something's just not right there. Like 1,000-year stare almost. Like it's just it's just
After seeing that,
I could have had 1,000-yard stare.
you could have. He wasn't ugly though. He's quite handsome. In fact, he's quite handsome. He's just been through
He
some
was
shit.
touched by an angel, but
Yeah.
it was with a frying pan in the back of the head.
Not that kind of touch. Look, God damn it. It just looks like he's a little fucking like he's been through some shit and he
He was
might not be
dropped by an angel as a baby on his head.
God damn it.
I was dropped by an
Okay. Yeah.
I want
So
to start
that's
asking them basic magical knowledge questions.
okay.
Like, what their experience, like both of them, what their experience with like magical objects, shit like that is.
The general answers you get from the two of them is not a whole lot apart from like maybe enchanted tools they'd use at work, but other than that they do not have any magical knowledge whatsoever. Upstanding.
How oh sorry, my bad. Go ahead.
As Mr. Maker is doing this, Stanislav has probably already found Gregory, or at least seen Gregory and Mantuka. Is looking for Mr. Maker and thinks he's gonna go to the Eric's, maybe see if he's there. So let me know when I walk in.
Okay. We'll do.
So
We're gonna get to the
As
end of the
far as-
math quiz first.
as far as your general want to understand how certain magical abilities are manifested, what would you say on a scale of 1 to 10? 10 being, I'm really interested in finding out how that shit works, and 1 being, shut the fuck up. You
No.
gold motherfucker.
The gnome is kind of like, well, burning people sounds fun. He's got a little bit of a smile on his face. The woman seems a little more intrigued. She seems a little more
Red flag.
intellectually minded. You also pick up that she's also probably one of the stronger looking of the group apart from the brothers. Like, she seems to be like fairly capable individual in all senses, but she seems a little more intrigued by the subject beyond just like, she doesn't hit you with the, oh, burning people sounds fun. She kind of hits you back with the question like, oh, what kind of things would you be teaching us exactly? What would we be learning?
Is kind of what I was looking for here, but we'll see.
Up to you.
We'll see.
Up to you.
As I look at both of them, I say, I want you to look at me and tell me what's wrong. There's one thing off about me. I need you to tell me what it is.
Okay, they're both gonna roll insights. The first dice will be the gnome. The second will be the woman. The gnome immediately hits you. Your hair's different. It's not as nice. No, it's different. It's different.
That is true. Shit. Cool. Yeah, well...
He rolled an 18 plus 3, so 21. Like, that's pretty good.
That's fine.
Yeah.
He got it. I'm thinking with my brain hole. Because on one hand, it would be cool to have a minion who can figure shit out. But on the other hand, if I could just let loose a little gnome with a little fucking staff of fireball, that'd be awesome.
I don't disagree with you. I do not disagree with you. Yeah. Well, that choice is up to you. As you're having this conversation, mind you, the group's attention kind of like is shifted over your shoulder as Stanislav, you walk in and see a somewhat less lustrous version of yourself instructing the recruits. And you look and they're all holding like a piece of paper that they're all looking at puzzledly. He's talking to two individuals, the woman you saw during the training bouts the day before, who stood out to you as a pretty capable fighter, and this gnomish individual who you noticed was like using the unconventional stabbing the legs under the shield tactic during training. And he seems to have those two pulled aside.
Do I see me?
Yeah, you 100% see a less shiny version of yourself. Still shiny, but he just doesn't have like that confidence.
Like grass instead of gold.
Yeah, it's not quite there.
I don't say anything, and I'm hopefully having his back face towards me currently.
Yeah, he doesn't see you at all.
Oh, yeah.
I just kind of take a couple steps into the room, put my hands on my side. You know, if you're gonna look like me, at least do it some justice.
Well, I was trying to. This was part of the test, and as I hear his voice, I immediately just start
Yeah.
in front of all these kids, very aggressive.
Few of them shock. Like one of the eyes falls out and then pops back in, kind of deal. Yeah. And you stand your usual Mr. Maker self in front of all of them, and like the gnome is like the lady seems kind of grossed out. Maybe by the sound, the eyeball thing. The whole process. She seems a little taken aback. The gnome, on the other hand, is like very into it. Like he's completely stoked. He's sitting there like just jaw agape. There's no words in his. He's just.
I'm
shocked.
taking the gnome, baby. I'm taking the gnome, baby.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Stanislav just has a quick peek at one of the papers. Oh, gross.
Roll me an intelligence check, please, Stanislav.
Oh, gross.
I don't know if I even
Roll.
should.
Just do it. Just do it. This is just to see your internal monologue as you read this paper. Did you give yourself disadvantage on that? Okay, so 8.
I don't know math.
No, you don't.
Your first words were "oh, gross."
Yeah, you look at the
Yeah.
page and it's just chicken scratch. Like it looks like a chicken just walked across the page. You can't make sense of any of it. There's a couple numbers. You see 1, 2. That's about as high as you can count or read. I guess you can count higher, but that's about as high as you can read.
Yeah, I'm much better at writing, which is weird, but only because when I was silent, I had to learn.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's just complete
All
gibberish.
right. Well,
too.
I guess language training could be useful.
That's not what this is.
The gnome looks at you. It's like, it's math. Are you dumb?
I like this one. I fucking love it. And is he pocket sized? How big is he? Like roughly?
He's a gnome. He's like
He's like 2 feet tall.
Yeah,
He's a flesh UI.
He's
Hey, yeah,
he's
looks
actually
down at
he's about the size of UI. Yeah, he's
Not a fucking
sassy.
pop figurine.
He's a sassy little
Stanislav
bastard.
just looks down. Not very book smart, I'll give you that. You're an observant one, aren't you?
He just stares
I
at
will-
you silently at that point. He's a little
Stanislav
intimidated.
kinda
Yeah, he's a
glares
little
at him a little bit.
intimidated
Yeah.
as you're standing over him.
I
Puffed up.
I'll say, it's all right. That was a good answer. And start ushering him out of the room. You're coming
Okay.
with me.
Yeah. Did you get his name or anything? You don't introduce yourself at all. I realized something that has happened over the course of 37 sessions. The number of people that you guys have introduced yourself is like 3. 3 people know your names, who
Straight
you
to the
are.
point.
That's basically it. We have not done interactions or introductions with like anybody.
Well,
We're a no bullshit crew.
all are wearing name tags.
Yeah, every single one.
Mantuka did introductions before training, so Smelly knows who I am.
That's
Smelly
true.
and I are tight.
Smelly and you were tight.
As we're walking out, I'll be like, "What's your name?"
Svartle.
Bartle?
Svartle. Svartle. Svartle.
Sparkle.
Svartle. It's just on the list, dude. The list comes up and I read it. Svartle the gnome,
I
dude.
guess,
I'm
the
gonna
more the
take
merrier. It seems like Mantuka
Yeah, you
can
leave
tag along
with
as well.
Svartle in tow and you're left standing there at your group. Now only 13 people. Two missing from the crew, having been taken by Mantuka and and fucking Mr. Maker.
Recruitment.
Yeah.
Cannon fodder.
I said the pets are immortal. I didn't say anything about your employees.
Oh, they don't have to be.
I'm
I'm
not
just gonna
paying
take
him.
that one bullet.
Gregory, what are you
Alright,
doing
well-
before you head out?
Gregory's like kind of walking up to this training place and watching everyone walk out. He's just like, "Oh, I guess I got here late. That's okay." I walk
Hey,
in.
Gregory.
Hi, I'll just be 1 second. You can go on without me. I go in, close the doors behind me. Listen up, everybody! This is a,
Stanislav closes the door and starts to walk away, but hears that and just kind
Yeah,
of
it's shrill. It
stops
cuts,
and stays on
cuts
the outside of the door.
through the sandstone.
this is gonna be dangerous. Everything you do. I've not learned a lot in my short amount of life, but the one thing I've learned is that life is fleeting. Take every moment like it's your last. Breathe it in deeply, and don't forget it. Start a journal. Anyway, good night.
The whole crowd just looks at each other, a little like taken aback and scared and stunned. This kid is. And you hear someone in the back. Hey, journal. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I like to journal.
I like journal.
I
And
like
book of
to
scrap
journal,
as well.
journal.
Yeah, we do love scrapbooking for sure.
I just close the door behind me and meet up with my friends. I feel better.
That was a good little inspirational speech there.
Thank you. I kind of, it was gonna get really ranty for a second. I was worried, but yeah. I had to impart that wisdom in case we don't come back.
I'm sure we're gonna come back.
Me too.
What is this I hear about
What's-
not coming back? You see
What?
a familiar purple tiefling, your brother, kind of curious about this gathering around the exit. You all ready to
Hello,
leave?
brother.
Are you going to leave without saying goodbye?
Well, of course not. I wouldn't dream of it.
Right.
Rusty, who do you want to give the D6 inspiration to? Rusty Renegade says, "Fuck bitches, get money."
That sounds like a Mr. Maker line if I've ever
That
heard
feels like a
It's
Mr.
very
Maker
much,
line.
yeah.
That sounds like that's the only person that would inspire.
I feel like
I
Mr.
nominate Mr. Maker for that one.
Okay,
Yes,
Mr. Maker gets a
sir.
D6. Let's
Yes,
go.
sir.
Okay, so Mr. Maker, you
I
can
know,
add
it's
that.
silly.
You can add that to any roll, as long as it is before I tell you what happens. So if you roll and it's low, just tell me you want to do it before I describe what it is that's going on. And we appreciate that, Rusty. I hope you're having a good one. Sorry to hear about the vocal rest. I miss your streams. I can't be the only Rusty holding it down on Twitch. Makes me sad. The fuck? Fuck bitches, get money. All right, let's go. That's the best inspirational quote I've ever got. So, what is it you're going exactly?
Well, long story short, we excavated the cave, and we believe we figured out how to get in. Just, it requires a very unique gem that is located in a place that you and I know fairly well in Lycia.
Licia. You
Yeah.
think
I-
it's a good idea to be going back there?
No, as a matter of fact, I don't, which is why myself and probably Mantuka will not actually be going into Lycia. We're going to stay camped out, well outside, while these two go to... I forget the name of the estate, but I tell him the name of those people.
As he's describing this, I turn into his brother.
Drew Hilda.
Ruhilla.
Yes, them.
No D.
The
Ruhilla.
Ruhilla estate. We believe that they have it, and might be a bit of a stroke of luck that it's in their hands, because as far as I'm aware, they're the only sympathizers to non-slavery in that area.
An interesting thing in the Imperium. Do be careful and don't get yourself captured for a third time, yes?
I don't plan on it.
Okay. Be safe, I have some work to do with the elves of bringing the last load of goods in this morning.
Oh, great. You know what type of goods they brought in? There's a few other things we're looking for.
Mostly food, some defenses, nothing really, what is it you're looking for exactly?
Well, I wouldn't figure that they would have that, but we need 3 specific types of small gemstone, as well as that one that we need.
Sure, that will be easy enough to cities. Well, good luck.
Probably.
Yeah. We'll have to keep an eye out while we're in Elysium.
I know this is very difficult for you, but try not to do anything too stupid, okay?
I'm gonna do my best not to do really anything.
He says it jokingly, but there's a tone of seriousness to his voice there that he's he's worried about you at this point. But
yeah. After, especially the last time we got captured, Stanislav knows. We'll be back within 2 weeks, brother.
2 weeks.
We can't travel on the main roads. You see, it's very clearly not safe right now. So we have to travel like we used to.
Oh, those were the days, huh?
Should be fun.
You remember where to hide, yes?
Well, of course.
Okay. You have your map?
Reaches in his bag. Yep.
Let me see.
Pulls it out and gives it to him.
Well, he points to a place on the cliffside. I found this place to be quite useful in my time traveling alone. Perhaps it will serve you well.
Is it fairly close to Lycia?
It's like right on the cliffside overlooking it.
Perfect.
Roll me an intelligence check. Tark was the first one to assemble the 3 pieces.
I'm not even gonna.
We're going for 5. We need 5 for intelligence. We love it. We love it. Sounds like a bad orange YouTube. Yeah, that's true. That's fair.
What, like here-ish?
Yeah. He's literally pointing on this cliffside to the point that it looks like it would be a good vantage point over Lycia. Like you could fully see into the city from here. Rustodia there, you know what's up. Tark got 3. We've never got 5. We're working on it. We need more Rusties in the world. There's an e-girl Rusty. We're working on it. It's gonna take a while to get that one.
Lusty.
I'm Lusty Rusty. I'm e-girl Rusty. Oh no. Oh no.
With this hair, I'm musty rusty.
There you go. That is a rusty hair color. E-girl Rusty's hot. I don't know. Other Rusty founder. Anyway.
Stop right now.
God damn it. You have ginger spice hair and it makes me so happy. I've got to go, brother. Be safe. Be careful. I don't like to admit this, but the child seems like the smartest of all of you, so maybe follow his lead.
Why is everybody saying that? Excuse me.
I mean, you're smart too, just in a different way. I like your look. Very handsome.
I just purchased a free human without purchasing him.
You purchased a human? We don't really do that around here. That's not really our thing.
I'm pretty sure that he just convinced him.
He's consensual. He said yes.
Heath, is that true?
Just kind of like.
He looks up at him and he's like, yeah, it's true.
I will train.
He
will learn.
Okay, well, if you say so.
Forever friends until he dies.
Do try to bring.
Out of my bag of holding. I got this guy.
You can't just put him in there. There's nowhere to breathe.
Did you actually do that?
You see Svartle, your gnome companion, just pop out of the bag. Like, just start gasping in air. He's like purple in the face. Like...
I don't think he can breathe in there.
I would use a reed as a straw.
I shrug and put him down.
That was fun. Let's do that again.
PTSD gnome.
This gnome is a fucking adrenaline junkie. Holy shit.
All right, I'm gonna get a really big straw.
Oh no.
A really big straw and just stick it in the top of the.
That's not how the bag of holding works. I love where your head's at, but no.
It's kind of like the vacuum of space where you would explode.
Yeah, it's literally, there's like 5 minutes of oxygen in there, and that's it. Oh my
A
god.
lot
What's up,
more
aliens?
pressure on the inside of you than on the outside of you there.
Oh my god, I love him.
So you're kind of like waterboarding the gnome with
God.
space.
Hey, it's training. You train your way, I'll train mine.
Training in low oxygen environments is
And
very
you got
important.
Why? Why would you want to do that to yourself?
What if I have to send him to space?
Or underwater.
Where is space?
At that
All
point.
right, well we need to go.
I look down at him. They don't get it.
They don't get it. They just don't get it. And you see at this point, UI is standing behind you with his little robot arms crossed. As he looks at this little gnome, you just hear from behind you, well, who's that?
Stealth robot!
He's just staring you down. Like, all of you see Miss, like, UI's eyes, which are normally this, like, soft green glowing color, are like a bright jealousy shade of green. Like, the actual depiction of jealousy.
Looks like you've been
dear.
replaced, my little robot friend.
Oh, no. We could never replace UI. He's
puts
a
his-
valuable member of the family.
UI, if you come over here, I have a human to carry you. We can paint you like a bull, and we can get some leather.
This is
drape
so
it.
fucked up.
I grab him by the head and kind of push him away.
It's like Woody in Toy
Yeah,
Story.
he just puts his head down and, like, just is kind of sad. He's a little
We
dejected
have
robot.
dried meats.
I set the gnome on top of UI.
Oh. Okay. He takes it.
It's a
He
Roomba.
takes it. He's programmed not to argue with you, but like he slumps in the shoulders a little bit, and like he's sad about it, but he accepts it. And he just yeah, this is sad. This is making me sad.
We need a secretary appreciation day.
Secretariat.
Unpaid
Oh.
intern. I'm
Uh,
allowed to get another unpaid intern. That's how.
have you all
I stand.
handled
I'm-
everything you'd like to do before making your way into the
Just
Ember Steppe?
on our way out, as we like just are on the outside of this giant cave we're staying in, I want to summon Ikesh. Take 10 minutes and summon Ikesh.
Okay. Wait, inside?
No, I just said as soon as we're out of the cave.
You might want to
and
wait.
Enough clear.
You might want to wait
Yeah, like-
until I've described the outside of the cave for that. Trust me.
Okay. Yeah, that's like as soon
Okay,
as
so-
it's feasible for me to summon a 7-foot tall warhorse.
Yeah, about that. So, you guys ready yourselves for the day's journey. You see just an ever so faint bit of sunlight start to creep in that kind of hole in the top of your mountain that lets a little bit of natural light in during the day. And feel it is time. You make your way out into the kind of grand entry area here, where you've been training your little battalion of soldiers. To give you guys a visual, this is what you're looking at. It's very simple, just like basically a very natural cave with the kind of ruins of these old sandstone buildings that were once here that have since decayed over time, crumbled, and you kind of make your way out this path to the north down a small flight of stairs and into a massive cavern opening, almost like a canyon, but it's in the side of this mountain. Like, it is steep, probably.
Wow.
Looking from where you are now at low tide, it's about probably a 20-foot drop in here in terms of tidal change. And you see leading down and kind of just along the southern side of this canyon, this thin little pathway and stairs that have just been carved right into the stone, no more than maybe 2 feet widest at any given part, sometimes going down to as little as 1 foot. It was carved. It's very clearly man-made, or I guess in this case elvish made. But it definitely looks like it's been eroded over time from where it probably was. Like, you could probably venture a guess that at one point you were more than likely able to pull small ships in here and dock right up to that. But You kind of make your way along this path. 1 second. Kind of following this canyon side pathway until you eventually see this small triangle of light at the edge of the cliffside, where it looks like there is an exit leading out of the cavern. You kind of like make your way towards it, and as you kind of descend along this path, you notice the water getting a little closer as you're going lower and lower, to the point that you're more than certain that this part of the pathway is completely submerged during most of the tide. Like, only at the very lowest point in the tide is this path even walkable, and it leads out through this very small gap in the cliffside, and you're just like step out and are blinded immediately by the bright glaring sunlight as it is just cresting over the eastern horizon and shining basically directly into your eyes. Like, you know that morning drive sunrise where you're trying to drive and you're like, fucking, that face, that's what you're dealing with. And it takes you all
The visor doesn't even do anything.
No, it takes you all
Too low.
a minute
The goggles,
to check.
they do nothing.
It is a beautiful goblets. Go ahead and roll me D100 exclamation point D100. It was a nice clear day when JTB rolled it, but
I'm
Go
gonna
ahead.
take out my protective goggles and slap them on.
Sure.
No, we're desert traveling.
I never take mine off.
that's true.
Yeah.
Just D100, not 1D100. So 25. Okay. It is a beautiful, beautiful clear day. There is a light breeze kind of just drifting in off the Bay of Sorrows here. This massive inland bay that makes its way deep into the continent of Fellerin. I love the welding goggles. They make me so happy. And as you exit,
So
you just see
good.
the glittering expanse of the sea. On the other side of it, if you guys want, I'll roll me a perception check, take in all the details for the first time. The fucking goggles make me so happy.
Ooh.
We got a nice clear day too for that weather check. No more hurricanes. Okay.
13.
So 13.
15 for me.
Everyone else is above 15.
19.
Okay. So for everyone who got 15 and above, actually, this is something everyone would see. Across the bay, you do make out a coastline, and what appears to just be a wall of trees, like a huge forest that stretches most of that side of the coastline. For those of you who know your geography,
Shadewood.
you are now looking at the Shadewood, the home of
Cool.
the last home of the elves on the continent. It's across this massive bay. It's that you see kind of out in the bay a few ships that are sailing, making their way up and down the coast, going about their early morning routes, heading out to sea, probably to start the day of fishing. Amongst those, however, you do see a couple boats that strike you as very distinctly elven in design. And you gather those are probably the ones of the boats that belong to the individuals that are currently garrisoning this area for you and helping
The
bring in
fancy
supplies.
people.
They are, however, anchored far enough away from shore to not appear suspicious. What's up?
That one shot that we did when I was a centaur was in the Shadewood, right?
Just barely. Yes.
Yeah.
Like right on the edge of it.
Very cool area.
So you guys kind of exit to your right and see this very low coastal path that just leads along the low end of this cliffside, also beneath the waterline. So this place isn't even accessible on the outside during anything but low tide as well. You gather it is probably why this area has yet to be discovered by the Imperium and is basically inaccessible at all times except for a very brief time during the day. It doesn't take you long before you start making your way up and you kind of wind around this cliffside. And then find yourself in a low valley nestled between two mountains. You guys are now standing on the eastern coast of the Magus Imperium in the Incendus mountain range. So, if we pull up our big map here, you guys are basically have just come out between these two mountains right up here, just north of Nisal. You're kind of standing in between those two mountains in this very large valley that seems to have this like dry creek bed along the way.
We have to kind of go like in general that way direction.
It looks like the valley in
Kinda,
terms of direction, the valley leads in a general this direction. I mean, they branch
Okay, I
off. Like
see.
this whole mountain range is nothing but like cliffs and valleys that all weave. Even the mountains themselves are more plateaus of rock as opposed to sharp, jagged mountains until they finally come to a point. But it's like a lot of just cliffside plateaus and stuff. But it looks like at any given point you could weave your way along the base of any mountain, through any valley, and find your way through these mountains. You gather that is what a lot of criminals tend to do when making their travels around here. About
Basically, what
halfway,
I think we want to do is get here and then
More
just
or
go
less.
straight towards Lucia.
yeah. So about halfway up that path, it becomes no longer man-made. Basically, there's no more stairs. It is just a steep path up the side of a cliffside until you come into this valley. Tried very hard to appear that it is not leading anywhere in particular. The path just vanishes for a little while. And you are standing now in a valley in the Incendus Mountains. What do you guys want to do? What's the plan for the day?
Rideable now?
It's gonna be rough, but yeah, not
Rideable on a goat?
on a goat, 100%. 100%.
Aw.
Yeah, a warhorse, not so much. There's a lot of like places where the ravine kind of sinks down to this narrow, like canyon-like structure. A goat's a little more feasible if that's the route you want to go.
Stanislav will take the 10 minutes, do his meditative summoning, and he will summon Eyes Off You.
Eyes off.
Not first time.
We love that.
I love it.
Describe your goat. So how does this casting look? What does your party see as you cast this spell and manifest this creature?
Stanislav's ritual spells aren't really sitting and meditating. It's like magic yoga, more or less. And at the conclusion of it, he does kind of an epic power pose, and there's a big flash of golden light, and out pops from this golden light a shiny golden goat.
Tiny golden goat.
Oh.
Bigger than Eyes on You was, or Ice on You.
Oh.
Quite a bit bigger, but still in the same vein in terms of size. But
And two.
what's up, Ray? No
And,
booting them off cliffs.
Yeah, and I'm gonna just ask who wants a ride.
Hey, Smelly, did you see that? Did you just see what occurred right here?
Yeah, he made a goat. He made a goat.
He sure did.
Have you ever seen anything like that before?
A few times.
Experience. Get the fuck out.
Yeah, okay. And Smelly, your new companion, makes his way over to the goat. Okay, do you mind?
Be my guest.
Yeah, he swings himself a leg over very awkwardly and gets onto the back of the goat. He's small enough it could probably carry another small person, like a Gregory or an halfling or gnome-sized individual.
Who's riding on New Eye?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Gregory?
Yeah, I'll get on there too.
Pick Gregory up, pop him down behind Smelly.
Hubbub. Oh, I see the name now.
Roll me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Yeah.
plus 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not serious issues, but okay.
Oh no, this is pretty bad.
He smells awful.
Yeah.
Like you gather, like none of you smell particularly good. Like you've all been in an encampment, like enslaved and doing hard labor in the sun for months, years for some people, decades for some others. You've been living in a coastal cavern that has like the ever pungent smell of salt water and probably mildew at any given time.
I look over at Mr. Maker like this,
Yeah.
and I just flip him a gold coin, and I say, I think you know what I need.
Yes.
His card, hand it over. Here you go.
Thank you. And I just like put it in my mouth, and I'm like,
Okay, as you clamp down on the card and breathe in through your nostrils, you are greeted by the ever-present scent of lavender meadows, lavender fields. Beautiful
better.
smelling. It does a
Thank
pretty
you,
good
Mr.
job
Maker.
of covering up the smell. Every now and again, you still catch a little whiff here and there, but for the most part, the lavender
Yeah.
fields are doing their job.
Downwind.
Really just hangs his head in shame a little bit.
I'm sorry, I'm trying not to make you feel bad, but my God almighty.
Don't worry, we'll take care of it at some point.
I'm so happy.
Onwards. Pack as much gear.
I could have just made him smell better.
I'm also gonna take. I'm gonna take as much gear off of other people as possible and get it onto the goat because I know we're traveling through the desert in hot season.
Smart boy.
Okay. Luckily,
I know I'm personally fine, but
yeah, no. So doesn't take long. You do hang some gear on him. It is still hot, heavy traveling through these mountains. Bright side, it is still quite early in the morning, and the sun hasn't actually crested into the high point of the sky. So many of the canyons in which you're walking are still quite cool and in the shade. We're not at risk of exhaustion just yet. That's more of an issue on like the Ember Steppe and the open roads. It
So
seems
like in these canyons and stuff, we can stay to shaded parts.
for the most part, like a
Pretty much.
full 8 hours of
Well.
travel will probably be where we're making checks. You're basically all good. There's enough shade kind of tucked in between these canyons and crevices for you guys to keep out of at least the morning sun. Come afternoon, it might be a bit more. But who's helming? Who's taking the lead for this little adventure here? We're gonna try to truncate the travel a little bit.
I'll take a
Gregory and I?
look. Yeah,
Gregory?
I'll take a look out.
No. We're just gonna say this is for your first 2 days of travel, just to make our lives a little easier here. Go ahead and roll
I'm
me a
gonna help
survival
him
check.
with my. I'm gonna help him with my lifelong knowledge of the Ember Steppe.
Okay, so roll with advantage, as Stanislav kind of explains to you the way different terrains work here. Good thing didn't make a difference.
And I guide you. So roll a d4.
Roll d4.
Oh. Doop, doop, boop. Okay.
19.
19.
So you make quick work through the mountains. It doesn't take you long. It's a pretty... Once you get on a path, it's pretty easy to stay on it, being that there's just kind of canyons. You just kind of continue weaving your way, keeping the sun basically right behind or right above you at any given time, and trying to just use the sun as a bit of a guide. You know, you're pretty much at like where the equator would be considered at this point. So you just kind of keep that over your right shoulder and continue down in a southwesterly direction. Fairly easily. It takes you about 4 hours or so until you hit what looks like a fairly well-traveled section of road. You're kind of coming through this canyon, you walk out onto a little bit of a plateau. It's not quite like super high above the road. It's probably only about 15 feet up or so from where you came out of the mountains. But you do see a very well-traveled road beneath you. It's kind of just weaving through the mountains. Based on your all knowledge of geography and the map you have in your possession, you know this is the road to Nissal. You're probably about 2 hours south of where the fork goes off to Pillarstone and the other part goes off to the port of Nissal.
Beautiful.
Gregory,
Where you guys
Yes?
got captured is that crossroads, by the way.
could you
Country
perhaps summon up a flying friend to have a look and see if there's anybody that we need to be wary of
Oh,
on
wait.
this road?
Yeah, actually, yes, yeah, that's a great idea. I'm gonna go ahead. Just gonna. I don't want it to be anything too crazy noticeable. An owl? No, that's not in the desert. Vulture, right? Vultures.
Very good.
It's just gonna be just two gangly-looking vultures that kind of are very reminiscent of the two brothers. They're like bright red. And they're just pecking at each other.
So this is Yurik and Yerik, the vulture forms. Got it.
Yeah,
and they're
yeah.
kind of just pecking.
Vulture armor.
That's not how this spell always has to work, I promise.
So
Hold on,
you
fellas,
have
it's gonna be really cool.
the
Come
two
to me,
vultures
vulture
kind of
armor.
manifest out of the sand in front of you, and you have two vultures. What are you doing?
Fly! And if you see anything, let us know. Anything scary? Just come down, tell us.
They look at
You
you
got-
quizzically for
you
a second,
got
and
this.
then you feel like you got the message across. They both fly off in different directions, each flying down a different section of the road. One to the southeast towards Nissal, or at least to where it curves up to Nissal, and the other to the northwest towards the crossroads. And you wait a little while, and they come back about 10 minutes later. One seems to be trying to communicate something to you, the other not so much. The one that came back from the south seems all fine. The one that came from the northwest, however, seems agitated. And it's kind of like not quite dancing around, but it's like not settling into a position. They can't really communicate with you, as far as I know.
Vulture has an intelligence of 6. Okay.
Okay.
This might,
There's
okay.
a plan starting to formulate.
This might have a thing. I'm going to go ahead and I've only used this on people, but I take the necklace Stan gave me and just kind of hold it and, buddy, I try to cast detect thoughts on the vulture.
Okay. Yeah.
If the
Yes.
creature you choose has an intelligence of 3 or lower,
It fails.
or doesn't speak any language, damn it!
Technically, it speaks bird.
Thank you. I was hoping you'd say that.
There is a language for that, isn't there? Like Sylvan, technically, but
They gotta be able to.
I'm
do
gonna give you a pass on this one because I feel like I
Oh.
get, at very least, it can communicate ideas to you. So,
Yay!
as you cast the spell and you feel it kind of take hold, you don't pick up any language directly, but you get a sense of danger on surface thoughts. If you want to probe deeper, it can save, but on its surface thoughts, right off the bat, it is definitely danger that way. It seems like there has been something that has got its attention somewhere to the north, probably about a 10-15 minute flight away from you.
I'm just holding the necklace and I'm just close eyes and I'm like, I mean, danger! Shit! There's something north. Okay. What do we do? Change course? Go ahead at it?
You're muted.
Do we know what it is?
Just danger. That's all I really was able to get. I
It
look
doesn't-
over at the bird. I'm like, big? Small? Big?
It's not hastily, like, it's not acting in a panic. It is just giving you signal that there's something waiting up that direction in particular. It doesn't seem like it's frantic as if something is coming towards you.
Right.
Or that you're in
okay.
immediate danger. It is just telling you in that direction there is danger.
All right. Well,
Nervous Vulture is
Perhaps
now
we
my favorite
should-
character. Same.
perhaps we should swing around the opposite direction, make our cross on the road, and continue on.
Yeah, okay. I've only the birds will only stay for like another 30 minutes. Just keep an eye out. Go back up, please.
They fly up and they start just flying around and kind of doing like figure eight and like circles around the top of you, keeping a general look on either direction. I want everyone to roll me a group stealth check.
Ooh, okay.
I'm gonna say with advantage because you were aware of the potential threat.
Oh.
Jesus Christ. That's 2 successes right off the bat.
Damn.
3 if we count the natural 20. Stanislav as well did okay with the 12. Damn!
I rolled a 15.
Hey, I mean,
the night.
the lowest was the 15. So, collectively, like, you just see a bunch of rocks.
I saw it rolled a
Natural 20 for eyes off you. That's amazing. So,
Makes sense. He's a goat.
he is a goat. Following the lead of Ice on You, or Ice Off You, your new goat companion, you find these like kind of weird cliff paths to descend safely to the road out of a line of sight of
Mentally tell
the
him leap away.
individuals further up and kind of take like hiding places behind boulders as you make your way across. Mr. Maker, what's up?
I want to send out Tiny Maker,
Oh, your homunculus servant, yes.
my little Tiny Maker. I want to send him
your
out
third
on that-
companion, yep.
What a motley crew we are.
Technically fourth now. No, it's third. Yeah, right.
Yeah, I want to
The fourth
send
of his
that
group.
out 60 feet in front of us
Okay.
and instruct him to come back if there is something blocking our path.
Cool. You all see this little tiny robotic version of Mr. Maker, almost an exact replica, but fully metallic in every way and tiny. It just comes zip out of his like
Stanislav looks very impressed.
yeah, right out of his like front lapel pocket, like just begins flying up. You hear the wings buzzing like almost a hummingbird speed, like just constantly going, never stopping, and just buzzes up ahead 60 feet to the point none of you can really even see it anymore. And
You never cease to amaze me, Mr. Maker.
your
Yeah,
instructions
for real.
given out, he has taken that, and together the group of you travel throughout the rest of the day. The night passes without incident, and we continue into our second day of travel that we had Gregory already roll for, because we're doing 2 days at a time to make life a little easier on us today. Second day also passes without event. By the end of the second day, I would say you are about end of your second day of travel. You're coming to the edge of the Incendus Mountains. You're right at where the mountain range meets the front of the desert, or the northern portion of the desert. It was a little slower going on your second day because there's some more treacherous ground to cross. Mr. Maker, what's up? Thanks,
I was
Insomnia.
just going to tell you that he's got dark vision for 60 feet, and he's also got a passive perception of 14.
Gotcha. I got one in the Descent into Avernus game.
Okay, just wanted to make
His name's Bob. He looks like a tiny imp. What's up?
B.O.B.
During our travels, I have been able to find some like pebbles, like just like throwing stones.
100%.
Like,
Yeah, there's no shortage of rocks and pebbles and sand or whatever the fuck you need around. Like, it is.
We're
That
in
is
the mountains.
in fact, that is about all you see.
Yeah.
Sweet. I'm just picked up probably about 12 or so. Put in my pocket.
Okay. You pick up 12. How big? Like, what are we looking at? Stone? Like Very small pebble, a quarter
Like
size.
just like
Okay.
nothing crazy. Like it's. I want to be comfortable in my pocket. Like I'm not
Okay.
savage.
So something you can shoot out
Small
of like
enough
a
where-
wrist rocket kind of slingshot like deal. Got it.
Yeah.
Small
yeah,
enough
or
where
just
if you
at
throw it
someone.
at your buddy, it won't kill him, but it'll still hurt.
Kind of rocks me and my dad
Yeah.
throw at each other. Got it. Got
I
it.
know where you're going with this.
We have had 2 pumice fights. I think I know where you're
Oh
going. with this one.
God!
Pumice doesn't hurt. It's full of air. It's light as a feather.
I can throw things pretty.
Either way. So, you guys kind of come to the southern range of the mountains. Your second day taking a little bit longer to travel through the treacherous terrain that surrounds you. And you kind of come to the edge of the mountains just as the sun begins to set. It's not quite setting. Your day of travel is not quite done, but you stand on this cliffside overlooking just this sprawling ocean of sand that just stretches all the way to the horizon as far as your eye can see. You cannot make out the ocean beyond the southern border of this. If you look to your eastern side, you can still see the Bay of Sorrows kind of weaving into the land there, but like it is just an endless expanse of sand and desert in front of you.
Stanislav
Beautiful.
Kind of.
Empty, but beautiful in its own right. Stanislav, very, very familiar to you. This is home. This is where you and your brother spent most of your
Then he
childhood.
just has lets out a reminiscent sigh and under his breath. Good to see you, old friend.
Aw.
Well, I think we should probably call it here for the night. Maybe we should find a cave before we start venturing out into the open desert.
Oh, yeah, that you'd be the best to know that for sure.
Okay, so I'm gonna say roll me a history check at advantage.
Me?
Mm-hmm. Okay, 10's enough. So 10 was enough. You didn't need to use the guide, but sure, you have it. May as well use it. You know there's a number of caves you can find along these canyon sites. It's about from the cliff that you're on, probably 25-30 foot drop to the sands of the Ember Steppe below. Not very
Nothing.
far, easily climbable. Doesn't look like there's a path per se, but it's pretty easily done. You also there's places to hide. There's caves. You do know, based on where you are, there is a small settlement. Not quite. It's not quite recognized as a town because it's not what it is. It is a small settlement set up by an enterprising businessman in the Ember Steppe. You and your brother frequently stopped there for things like water and other things along your journeys. It is a place known as Hogar's Hill, I believe. All right. Where'd it go? Yeah, Hargo's Hill. It's run by.
But I know they're.
Hmm?
Go ahead.
Is run by an enterprising businessman named by the name of Hargo, who basically you remember when this happened, showed up with a small handful of mercenaries, claimed the land his own, and basically just began selling goods and water. Water is a big commodity in the desert, and people traveling on the back paths often need places to find it, and he just so happened to get his hands on arguably one of the best stopping places in the middle of the Ember Steppe. It's a small hill on which he has established a small settlement with fairly light fortifications around it, but it is a place that you would be able to stop. You know there's places to camp as well.
Do I know what his disposition towards enemies of the Empire are?
Oh, he frequently deals with criminal groups out here.
Oh, perfect.
Very frequently. Not quite like on bandit levels. He's operating legally, and the Imperium know about his business. He just tends to turn a blind eye to individuals who make their way into camp. You would also know, based on your history and visiting there a few times, his mercenary group is made up of a fairly decent number of troops from the Black Fang Triumvirate.
Ooh, Stanislav forgot about them.
Yeah, the most renowned fucking mercenary guild on the continent. So he's got big money, and it's quite a well-guarded place. It is considered safe for the most part. But up to you guys. Are you looking for a camp? Would you like to visit there?
Stanislav will relay the gist of that. Doesn't need to give all the details, but
Right.
he doesn't really care what your background is like as long as you've got coin. Could be a safe place for us to at least restock.
Right. I don't have a lot, but I have a couple.
I mean, if it comes down to it, I can supply us with food and water on the go. That's not a problem.
Yeah, oh yes, same here. If it comes right down to it, I can. The berries, they do the trick. It doesn't feel like food, really, but it kind of does.
I've through my studies at the Temple of Torm, did learn how to make food and water. So
Hey, that's better. Much more filling.
it's not very
Psychologically better.
flavorful, but
Well, flavors for when we live.
Please, both of you, stop talking up your amazing cuisine abilities of tasteless blah.
I
You're
can make berries
scaring
from a box.
smelly.
they might have half decent food at this encampment. So
Ooh.
You do know they
I'm
sell.
for it if you are.
It's basically like a tent tavern. He's got
Ooh.
basic food, drink. There's always a cooking fire going.
Stew.
And he even if you're like he lets people camp out there freely around the space. But if you're willing to pay a little bit of a premium, he has tents and camp set up on top of the hill itself that you can rent and get somewhere that's actually fortified and a little more safe. But that's entirely up to you.
Sounds nice.
Appreciate you, Boofa guy. Thank you for hanging out.
well, Mantuka and Mr. Maker, if you're okay with it, I think it's a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Smelly needs protection.
All right.
And a
That's
bath.
right. That's yeah. Mhm.
In Java.
And this encampment is the opposite way of where the vultures said our danger is, right? Or is
Yeah,
it
no, the
opposite
vultures
direction?
were like based on where you were. It seemed like the crossroads was where it was referring to. You just gathered there was probably a checkpoint set up. What's up, Brad? Welcome in.
As there usually is.
So you guys quickly make your way down the cliffside. Not really a big struggle. Like it's collectively as a party. I'm just giving you guys this one because like normally there would be checks if you're trying to do it in a hurry. But as a group, you
I'll
can all
have
take
eyes
your time.
off, you lead.
Yeah,
And then
as
we'll
a
just follow
group,
him.
you can collectively just take your time to get down these cliffside safely. And you find yourself on the fairly soft sands of the Ember Steppe. You'd expect it to be somewhat like coarse and unpleasant, but you gather the amount of time these sands have just spent eroding and rolling over the top of each other. It has a very soft feel to it for sand. It's very beach-like.
I hate sand.
I hate sand. It's cool. It's going good, Rad. We're just chilling. You guys make your way southward and continue through the Ember Steppe, traveling for probably another hour or so until the sun finally disappears behind the southwestern portion of the Incendus mountain range, the silhouette of the Torch Spire, the greatest mountain in this range, also known as the seat of the Oracle to those who are more religiously minded. Is just beautifully silhouetted against this sunset from where you guys currently stand. It's just this hulking point of stone cutting into the horizon with this jagged silhouette. It's absolutely beautiful.
Damn.
And as you're kind of wandering, you come over a rise and over a sand dune, and you see this small encampment. I will give you guys a map real quick.
Ooh. Map. I was taking a map. Da Monday night.
Okay, I'm over it. I'm done.
Nope,
I quit.
just
I'm
sitting
quitting.
in
I'm
the
quitting
pub.
D&D forever. So, you guys come over this rise and find this small encampment. You can see very clearly when it's called a hill. It's a little bit of a relative term in this sense. It's basically like a small rise on cliffs, maybe about like 10 feet out of the Ember Steppe on any given side at its absolute highest. It just looks like a couple cliff sides that used to maybe be a plateau that has been buried in sand.
It's an Ontario mountain.
Yeah. It's like an East Coast mountain. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
rough. But you see, like, there's these paths that kind of lead up. It looks like there's currently only one entrance. And then the thing that really stands out is this heavily fortified area around 4 identical tents. All Stanislav you recognize as the coloring of the Black Fang Triumvirate. Black Fang Triumvirate. There you go. Mr. Maker, you'd recognize it too, as they are a highly renowned military group in the region here. They work not directly for the Imperium in terms of their contracts, but that is like their predominant client. They work for them more than anyone else currently. It seems like that is where the guards are stationed. But
Before we get in there,
Yeah, go ahead.
Stanislav just says to the group, there's a group that operates around here that are quite powerful, so try to be respectful of everybody that you meet.
Oh, Oh, yes. Gotta brush off my sirs and ma'ams.
Couldn't help. Or couldn't hurt.
Hear that, Smelly? Don't fuck around.
Okay, I got you. I won't fuck around.
See? Adventure.
Can-
Magic.
Can you maybe stop calling me Smelly?
We'll work on it, not later.
Oh,
You'll develop a name like a call sign.
okay. I gotta
Right
earn
now,
it.
you really smell.
I'm...
But through amazing actions,
Puts his
you
head
will
down.
be
He's quite
given a
sad.
name.
Okay, I believe you. He seems a little dejected by everything, but you guys begin approaching this camp. You see
breaking down
the
about
only
You're doing great so far.
the only opening in the
Ultra
defenses, which you realize now
Marble.
as you approach, the defenses, apart from the very formidable palisade around the triumvirate camp. God damn it, that's a mouthful. The rest of the fortifications are basically sharpened logs that have just been stuck into the sand. It's nothing fancy. There's
Wow.
2 entrances closed off on the south and west side that you can see 2 archers just stationed at, looking out over the sands. It looks like they're wearing the Black Fang armor as well. Seems like all the guards here are into that employ. You approach the northern entrance and are greeted by a fairly husky like individual, not like overweight in the sense, but very muscular, just very big built individual, and he seems to just like kind of be leaning very nonchalantly on a great hammer that is just kind of half sunk into the sand. He's just kind of leaning on it casually. He sees you all approach. Oh, we got a couple latecomers. Most people are
Indeed.
usually here before the sun goes down. You looking for
Oh.
food, drink, accommodation? What can we what do you need?
A, B, and C.
All of the above.
All right, well, head right in. Just respect the space. Don't cause any trouble, and there won't be any trouble.
Of course.
Oh, so we're not eating the bland food that you talked up so amazingly?
Mantuka?
Mantuka, roll me a perception check with advantage. There's one thing
I
Mantuka
think-
is good
I think
at,
that
it's
was,
smelling food.
I think that was directed towards me.
Okay, with the 10, you smell the delicious smell of cooking meat. Not sure what kind of meat, but there is definitely something roasting over a fire on that camp. He kind of steps to the side, gestures you guys in, and you make your way up and onto this fairly raised plateau. You see around you, there are 2 tents at the southern side that are both empty. That looks like the accommodations that he was referring to. There is a small tent on the side next to this massive bonfire that seems to be roaring at any given time. Stanny, you know for a fact he keeps it lit day and night. So in the night, it is a beacon for travelers who need a place to stay. And during the day, it sends an inky black smear of smoke into the sky, also signaling the location of somewhere that, he could find some money. He wants people to come in, so he tries to draw them to the space. You see him, you're familiar with this individual, Hargo, the person who owns Hargo's Hill, just kind of sitting in like what looks like almost like a beach chair, kind of like a very simple, just like wooden frame with a cloth thing in the middle that looks like he's sitting quite comfortably. He's eating a platter, and there's a fairly beautiful woman sitting next to him, also taking in a meal with him. There's 2 dwarfs in the camp. There's one dwarf just rotating what looks like maybe was a gazelle or some kind of deer-like creature over a fire. Jesus Christ. What?
I thought you said he was rotating and you paused, and I thought you meant he was just spinning. You see, so I'm just rotating.
He's rotating
Hey,
this,
don't judge.
this
He's
massive
taking a
deer.
spin class.
Oh my god. He's just rotating this deer over this spit. And then you see another dwarf who looks very similar. They definitely look like they're probably related. Just behind a table, kind of just leaning on it with like his elbows down and hand. He's a little bit more handsome than the cook, but they definitely seem to have a familial bond of some kind. He sees you come in. Oh, hey there. We haven't got anyone new in a couple days. What do you need?
Was it
You-
called the Heart of the King?
Huh?
What was it called? The Heart of the King?
The Star of the Kings.
Star of the Kings. Well, I'll let everybody else say what we need, but now I'll ask some questions.
So it doesn't look like he remembers me?
That's a good question.
It's been years, decades even.
Yeah,
It's been-
I'm gonna have him roll at disadvantage, and we'll see. No, He has no recognition.
Sometimes.
Actually, now that I think about it, funny enough, you have no recollection of him either.
Oh,
They were not
Different.
here last time. It seems like he has got himself some new employees.
we seek refuge for the night. Perhaps a place to stay and some hot food.
Hot food we can do, that's no problem. If you need a place to rest, there's a couple beds back there. It'll be 2 gold apiece per person.
I got that.
I
Not a
take out
problem.
pull gold coins.
Okay. Are you looking for anything in particular for food or drink, or just, the standard water and a meal?
Water and a meal.
Mm-hmm.
Hey.
That works for me.
Water, 2 gold pieces a glass. And the food will be 5 silver pieces for the meat platter.
I don't need that water.
I look at Stan and I'm like, I don't think we're gonna need the water, right?
Regrettably not.
Remember
will
the
take-
blah 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 bland stuff you said?
We'll take
Yeah.
2 servings of that food though, and I'll pass him a gold piece.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
2 meat platters. Be about 10 minutes. My brother will have it ready for you. And for the rooms, it's 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. 6 of yous. Plus the robot.
Indeed.
The robot's a suitcase. I press him on the back of the head. He's got-
Yeah, he just arms and legs go into his body.
He's just a moving suitcase.
So 6 of you then. No worries. So at that much be 12 gold total for the space. And you get both tents for that much.
Like knocking your child out and putting him in a duffel bag.
I have never seen anything like that in my life. I'm going to be honest with you. I've never seen anything like it.
An impressive man.
So, altogether, we're looking at 13 gold pieces. And sure, no water for any of you. It's fresh. Just came in today.
I think we're covered on that.
I put it 2 gold pieces forward. Here you go.
And I paid 4 for me and Smelly.
Okay.
I pass him the 2 as well.
Okay. Mr. Maker, he looks to you. That'll be 4.
I very, very gingerly and sneakily put the gnome back in the bag of holding.
Roll me a sleight of hand. At disadvantage, because he's already counted the gnome as being there. Okay, he doesn't see you do it. Hold on.
Ah!
1 second. He does not see you do it. And he looks,
Take a deep breath,
looks-
Fartle.
looks around. Where'd the gnome go? Where'd the little one go?
What gnome? It was just the.
There was a gnome right there. I counted it myself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There was a 6.
There was
I think you were double counting me. I saw it happen sometimes.
No, you're not that short.
all the time.
I think
Trust me,
I'm short.
I know short people. All right.
Name one.
Is it because he's smelly?
Okay.
I
Roll me a
apologize.
collective deception check. I'll say Hell's Corp. Go ahead with advantage because Gregory's helping you. Okay.
So are we all
18.
rolling or just...
No,
Plus
it's just
5,
him.
by
Sorry,
the way.
I didn't mean to say
Okay.
collective in
No
there.
worries.
Plus 5.
5.
We love that. Alright, maybe I was just... I think I counted the robot one too many times, I'll be honest with you.
Oh, yeah.
So, 5 of you. Okay,
Never
just...
seen one before.
That's 2 gold pieces from you then.
I'll pass away the 2 gold pieces.
Okay?
I
he
can't
takes
believe
off.
You turned that plan off.
Yeah, he's just like, looks to his brother. It'll be about 5-10 minutes over there. He'll call when your food's ready.
We appreciate it. Thank
Goes
you.
back to what he's doing.
Thank
And if
you.
you're looking for anything else, we do offer trade goods. We've got some interesting things here as well. You're looking
Rubies.
as kind of a very basic layout of the place. Did you say rubies?
Gemstones.
We have a few of those. People tend to trade them when they don't have coin.
Yeah.
Looking for
can I
anything
see
in
those?
particular? Yeah, sure. He just like grabs a box and like pulls it out, and it's just got a almost like the sample tray at like a museum you see with all the polished stones in them, but it's just like a collection of varying sizes of gemstones that look like they've been traded in. He's like, so basically just tell me what you want. We'll weigh it up and tell you the price. What do you need?
Is looking through there, can we pick out an approximate correct sized ruby, emerald, and sapphire?
Yeah, no, there's plenty. The
Oh,
very common gems you do find rubies, sapphires, and emeralds. All varying
So the holes
sizes.
were what,
They're
about like a centimeter and a
very,
half
like-
or 2 centimeters?
like barely the size of a dime.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They don't take a huge gem to fit. While the Star of the Kings is about the size of a average man's fist. So that one's a little bigger.
Or
but,
many thousands.
You
of
kind of
platinum.
you pick out the ones you think you need. He's like, all right, for that be. And he just grabs a pair of scales and starts weighing out the gems and shit. He's like, all right, that one 30 for the emerald. Is going to be 40 for the ruby, and it's going to be 70 for the sapphire.
Would you possibly accept trade?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh.
All right. I'm gonna pour out the 2 gold and 58 silver I have left out of my red dragon scale coin purse.
Okay.
What do you think of this? These are real.
Oh.
I mean, I do respect the craftsmanship. How much are you looking to knock off the price of all these? There's 30, 40, and 70. So 140 altogether.
Perhaps 30 or 40 of that?
Feels like that would be more expensive if you went to buy one of these dragon scale coin purses.
It is real dragon scale. You can get someone to
That's
confirm
what
it.
I also see. It's been traveled around. It's been on you for quite some time. It's got a little wear and tear. I think 40 pieces. It seems alright to me.
I think you could do 50 on that one. Look at this. You're not gonna find another one of these anywhere.
Roll me a
It's so cool.
roll me a persuasion check.
By the way, you all saw Stanislav pour out 2 gold and 58 silver. And no more.
50?
Oh,
Alright.
no, I don't have
So-
much more than that.
90 total for all the gems then. If we take
Okay.
that bag off your hands.
Okay.
What'll it be?
No.
47.
It was 140. We knocked 50 off. 90 gold is the final.
Cool.
I just personally don't have anything else that I can trade.
I got 10 gold I can put in there. As give
My-
away everything else I have.
Money problems. We a bunch of broke bitches.
We are bunch
I
of
got-
broke-
I got
Bitch.
30 gold.
I have 5.
You have how much?
He hasn't had to spend any gold on anything.
No, I don't.
He negotiates everything. Yeah.
But I mean, that's in character.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
That's amazing.
I 100%
just haven't-
believe that Mr. Maker's the type to just have a fuckload, like literally the entire salary of an entire village of farmers just tucked
Yeah.
away at any given time.
Yep.
The
And
lifetime
I haven't done
salary.
anything to earn money since I spent it all on my enchanted armor.
Exactly. So you
Yeah.
divvy that up however you want to. It is 90 gold pieces for all the gems you want. You do see items behind him as well. Like he has a display of a varying amount of seemingly nice items. But 90 gold straight up for the gems. That's all you got.
I got-
Hold on to them for just a minute while we discuss.
All right, I'm not going anywhere.
Perfect. Let's go to the rooms, guys.
Uh,
I-
Okay.
Kind
Quick
of
thing.
hold on trickery and-
You guys do
Um,
notice, very noticeably, the two dwarves both have a very familiar looking collar around their neck. You guys make your
Go
way
to-
to your tents to the south there, and you see they're basically what they are is these fairly large, almost canopy-like tents, where your head is by the entrance, your feet is at the lower part. But it is on a platform that's been built out of wood, raised probably about 2 feet off the desert ground, in the hopes of keeping like the bigger desert insects off you and scorpions and stuff. They do still appear, but like it just gives you a little bit of a raised place, and they basically 4 sleeping rolls per tent.
I call encountering one of those a midnight snack.
There you go.
Oh my god.
I
Delicious.
immediately go inside and
Protein.
throw them out.
Yeah, there are flaps on the thing you can close as well. The note.
Good job, little buddy.
Trooper.
That doesn't get any easier every time we do it. No, not breathing is not. You can't practice that.
I've been practicing it. I'm getting better.
Oh, okay.
He's like,
This time?
yeah, the color comes back to his face a little bit. Struggle.
Oh, my little red flag.
I say, okay, you're gonna have to hide in here until we leave.
Okay. I can do that.
Bring you something to eat.
Oh, thank you. I was munching on some rations in the bag of holding, just between you and me.
Oh, good. That's fine.
There is food. I don't know if you know this, but all the things you keep in there kind of just float around. I just get like free reign.
Oh,
I
that's
wore
kinda fun.
Yeah, I wore some of your pants. They were really nice. They were kind of silky, you know. They were a little too big for me, so I took them off. But they were really comfy.
I wore some of your pants.
One day I'll get you a suit of your very own, buddy.
Really?
While struggling to.
I would love that. I
just
would
gotta
love
earn
that.
it, buddy.
Okay, I will. If it bothers you, I'll stop wearing your pants. I promise.
Well,
Well-
you're in there, you can do whatever the fuck you want.
Awesome.
I'll be bothered if you stop wearing.
If
my
we
pants.
can figure out the breathing situation, that would be great. I don't think I can stand to lose any more brain cells. As he's talking to you, his head's kind of shaking side to side like the oxygen deprivation is starting to cause irreparable damage. But, you know, no biggie. Oh my god. I love this
We've
man.
caused this man's life to end before he dies.
Just cutting off all oxygen to the brain.
Oh,
After a while, you hear just a gruff voice coming from the fire pit. Hey, your food's ready. A lot less smooth than the other brother. It seems like the less charismatic of the two got put on cooking duties. And as you kind of approach, there's just two platters of just slices of meat and a couple kebabs on a plate. It's very basic, just a straight up meat platter.
Nice.
You can eat it over by your tent. We don't have any tables. Kind of a
Appreciate
communal,
it.
just sit and eat where you want to kind of thing.
Communal.
Alrighty.
I like it.
well, thank you. As he grabs the
Enjoy.
platters and brings it back to the tent.
You guys kind of tuck in. It is delicious. Like, it is simply cooked. It is well seasoned, and it melts in your mouth. This is perfectly cooked meat. Not a lot of vegetables with it. There was a fruit platter on the menu, but like you guys went with the meat options. The fruit is definitely
Expensive.
yep. So's the water. Like the 1 cup of water is worth 4 of these meals out here in terms of how that balance worked out. So you all tuck into your meal
Okay, guys.
and begin to wind down for the evening.
Boy, can we talk about the thing first?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, buying.
What are you doing?
Okay, so as far as the gems go,
Mm-hmm.
90 gold is a lot of gold. Do you guys have 90 gold between you? I saw what was in your coin purse, Stan.
I had to trade the coin purse.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do still have it. You guys haven't done the trade or anything, but offers
Alright.
on the table.
I have 30 gold. Me
Okay.
and Smelly, that is.
Here's
I have a depender. You're my depender.
Okay, I got the gold. He pulls out your coin
My only-
purse and hands it to you.
My
We-
only thought is that we could get it for cheaper in Lycia.
I think you guys are thinking too small. I think we could get all the gems exactly from the treasure hunters that we are going to rob
Oh,
for free.
all right.
Okay.
And if that doesn't end up happening, we'll deal
We
with
get
it
to
on the
come
way
back
back.
here.
Yeah.
We got to come back through here anyways.
That's true. Mr. Maker, once again, you are a smart shopper.
That sounds like a much better idea. And who knows? You might make out like bandits from there.
That's true. Literally. San, you made a joke.
Ha! I didn't even think of it that way.
I haven't smiled all day. I
No, pats you on the back.
As your evening begins to
forget I'm a kid
Uh,
sometimes.
wind down, you all sit about your tents, kind of just sitting on the ledge of the raised platform, looking around, and you see the triumvirate camp with a few people. They do swap shifts. It looks like they have 2 full shifts of people here, and they just swap out at certain points throughout the day. You see 2 carriages, both with horses attached, off the edge of the cliff to your right. It's only about 10 to like 5 to 10 feet down. It's not very high, just barely. Like it's barely raised
There
out
you
of the sand.
There it is.
There are 2 horses there. It looks like there's some other individuals camping in the area as well. And then you see a carriage behind the tent where the dwarf you spoke to was selling you goods from, and it looks like the carriage backs right into the end of the tent, and then it opens up from there.
Oh.
And that is where you see Hargo. You see Hargo make his way into that and close the flaps and never come out. Or at least until the morning he doesn't come out. You would know that, Stanislav, from your time here, where he sleeps and lives. A little bit bigger in there than it appears on the outside.
While we're eating, I'm gonna have everybody in the group pull out every single possible container that we can muster for water.
Oh, yeah.
Haven't some of us purchased and owned multiple canteens? Water skins?
That's up to you guys. I don't manage y'all's inventory. How many canteens y'all got in your inventory?
Well, I just have one, but I can refill it every day.
I got a water skin.
Yeah, I don't know many reasons to carry multiple water skins.
Yeah, so I'll just get everyone to take out their water skin, and I'm gonna cast Create Food and Water.
Okay.
I hold out the bag of holding.
How does that spell manifest? Food still will spoil in it. There is a bag of holding for that.
I am not creating any food. None at all.
Just creating water?
Yep, we don't need food tonight. We have food.
That's true.
So I can create up to 30 gallons, or I can just fill all the containers.
You can fill all the containers. If you guys have any old booze bottles on you, any old potions you've drank, you have containers for that. Like, when you guys drink a potion, you still have the empty bottle afterward.
Yeah, so I'll fill all the containers, and the remainder I'll just cast into the bag of holding.
Don't do that. I was joking.
Okay.
Please don't do that.
If you want, it's up to you.
If you hold out, you have to hold out the bag in order for me to do it. So if you don't, then I don't.
Okay, yeah, I'm not going to. That was a joke.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Fills it with water. Every belonging you take out of the bag of holding is just soaking wet at all times.
Next
Next
time you
time-
drown,
Because
Spartle.
Svartle comes out with a pirate hat on, is missing an eye, he's got a peg leg.
I was the
Parrot on
captain
his
down there.
Rough seas today, Captain!
Har, har,
Happened in
fiddle-dee-dee.
there.
You guys spend the evening doing all that. You notice the guard shift change out. And then you begin to all tuck in for an evening's rest. Is anyone taking a watch? What's the game plan?
I want to send Tiny Maker, tell him the same thing. Just do like a radius,
Okay.
and then come get me and wake me up.
Okay.
As well as putting, what's his face? Fucking the robot. UI. God, my brain short.
Oh, we were already forgetting his name.
No! Okay.
I put him in alert.
Spartle's taking over.
Okay, so he's in...
Spartle is my new best
It's
friend.
the Spartle
Oh,
show
wow.
now.
So you're turning off UI, like putting him to sleep for the night, or is he watching?
So keeping him in watch.
Okay,
Putting
so
alarms.
Mr. Maker
I'll
Tiny...
also have Eyes Off You
Okay.
plant himself right the entrance of the tent, so
Right.
people have to step over him to get in.
Tiny Maker is going to be flying some rounds. Unnamed Intern is just going to be doing his scan thing. You're all used to it. His eyes just light up and basically cast a beam over the camp as he keeps watch. Might have the Svartle period. No! And you place your... Yeah, exactly that. You place your spectral goat, your golden shiny goat, to keep watch. Who is going in which tent? There's room for 4 in each tent. Are you guys all camping together and leaving your companions in their own space? What are the sleeping arrangements like for this?
I'm sticking with Spartle and Gregory.
Okay.
Yay.
You got Svartle and Gregory in a tent. That's 3. There's room for 1 more in that one. Whoever's in the other tent will be rooming with Stinky.
I figured. Oh yeah.
I think that one's going to be on Mantuka as I crawl into the tent with
Okay.
No
Mr.
issues.
Maker and
You brought him, bro.
Mantuka, you climb into the tent
Stinky.
with Smelly and
Right, Smelly.
and that's it. That's it. You got more space than anyone. Like, Smelly's on the other end of the tent. You got a whole half a tent to yourself. 3/4 probably. Smelly doesn't need a lot of room. He's
Make him
small.
go in the corner like a
Yeah.
cat.
Yeah. Oh, poor guy.
all right, come here, Mr. Maker. You're going to be the little spoon tonight.
You all tuck in.
One
Big
big
Where's the
bed.
tent over there?
One
Jesus
big
fucking
bed.
Yeah,
Christ.
you all hear nothing. So I need a perception check from anything that's keeping guard tonight. So 1 from your homunculus servant, Mr. Maker. I believe he has a stat block you can find. 1 from the goat, and 1 from UI as well. Mountain Goat has a 6. Love that.
He's not really there to be observant. He's more so just a barrier between the entrance of the tent.
Just a meat shield.
Okay.
A wool shield.
That's also +8.
He has a perception bonus of 8.
Yeah, plus proficiency bonus ×2.
Okay. So 18.
Hell yeah.
And then let me throw the. Hold on, I gotta scroll down to the other guy.
So, you all tuck in for an evening's rest. You all close your eyes and begin to fall asleep, dreaming of whatever it is you dream of. Stanislav, pumping iron, adventuring the Ember Steppe with your brother, all those pleasant memories you have. Mr. Maker, dreams of your inventions to come, big plans, scary plans. I'm looking forward to them. Mantuka, you dream of war, of glory, of battle, of Mogus. Gregory, you know what your dreams are. Fixated on one single person. Person you have not been able to stop thinking about since she first found her way into your mind. You see the beautiful face of the Star Speaker. Not skin.
Space lady.
Not made up of actual features. Instead made up of the cosmos themselves, the very stars forming the shape of her face. And a familiar voice whispers in your ears yet again, do not let them find it.
I won't let them, Space Lady. I won't.
Mr. Maker.
Yeah.
Around the midnight, I'd say, probably when the moon's at about its highest point, you feel something pushing on your foot.
I wake up.
You see UI standing at the edge of your bed, eyes wide, glowing brightly, frantically shaking your foot. So we have a problem. And then almost immediately after that, before you can even get the info from him, unnamed or fucking Maker Tiny Maker flies down and frantically just begins screaming at you. Just, we got problems, and he's just going off in his high robotic voice.
Slow down, guys. What is going on?
Roll me a perception check, please.
You, Gregory, and I wake up at this point too.
Yeah, at this point you hear the frantic sound. Okay, so 16. Everyone roll me a perception check, please.
Damn. Shit. Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna use the advantage because it's the in case.
Mantuka, you as well,
if you want.
Okay, sorry.
Okay.
Perception?
Yep. I think everyone's above a 12. If I'm right. Okay. So before unnamed intern or Tiny Maker can even get a word out, you guys hear carrying across the wind an unfamiliar sound, familiar but unfamiliar. You hear a raspy breathing, just carrying across the dry desert winds. What stands out to you is it's not just one voice, but dozens upon dozens, just breathing. Voices making their way towards you, and you step out of the camp, and you look out.
Divine sense immediately
as you hear the ear-piercing scream of someone in a tent to your right, and you all step out and see, surrounding the space that you have all set yourself on, the entire southwest or southeastern portion of this desert is a writhing mass, a horde of roaming zombies, as they just collapse into the tents and the horses of the people who are camping on the unguarded ground below, tearing the horses to shreds, just engulfing them entirely. You hear the screams of people fade out and are cut to nothingness as the horde just begins writhing around the base of the camp, trying to make its way up to you. The guards at the spikes are currently just trying to stab their way through whatever's beginning to gather around it. And they're not quite climbing up, but they're slowly pushing up towards all of you. And as you look out over the expanse of the Ember Steppe, you see probably roughly 70 to 100 writhing corpse forms just mindlessly wandering towards you, right towards your camp. And that is going to be where we end things for today.
Oh my god!
So,
what is the division?
So, we will pick up there next week and have ourselves a nice big adventure here. It's not The Walking Dead. No, never. No, we have actual good storylines. Okay, fuck. No, that's not fair. Walking Dead seasons 1 through 3, top tier TV. But you guys are all confronted by a wandering horde of zombies here in the Ember Steppe, and we will pick up next week when we return. Hell's Corp, if you got anything going on you want to tell the people about, any new videos, any new projects, anything, now is your chance. Sure. Everyone go show some love to Hell's Corp Open Air, okay? Everyone
Go to my Twitch, go to my YouTube. I'm gonna be doing shit. Just got to make some money first.
Yeah, we love making money.
You
What are you plugging in?
I wouldn't worry about it, to be honest.
Oh, dear.
I'm worrying. Okay. Well, you have fun with your construction project. In terms of my new shit, I got Skyrim runs going on tomorrow. That's a cat. Oh, it's so cute. It's adorable. What a sweet kitty. So, I don't really have anything new to talk about. I think we're probably coming to the end of our time streaming Sea of Thieves. Just is not really hitting the mark for me anymore. So, we'll probably be doing one last big Sea of Thieves stream and doing the pirate cosplay that day as well. That'll be a whole thing. I'm looking forward to it. So, I'm gonna go find someone to raid out on. That should be step 2. Probably should have had that pulled up already. But, who's doing D&D shit is my question. Who have we not raided in a while that's doing D&D shit is my other question. Fucking nobody. Nobody. Big Satch. Big Satch.
Kitty.
I need some D&D streamers in my life. I really do. I really do. Okay, I guess we're just gonna send it off to a rando. I don't like sending it off to randos.
Why not? Do it. It's fun.
Because you never know what you're gonna get.
It's true.
I'm gonna go ahead.
Funny randoms.
No, we're gonna just. I'm gonna go ahead and send you over to the Raven Arm. He's a Twitch partner currently getting set up to stream Sea of Thieves, and I've really been enjoying their stuff. So we're gonna shoot on over there. Be sure to show some love from us here at the Apothecary. If you got the emotes, feel free to copy and paste them to chat. If not, just let them know that we sent you. Oh my god, that is the sweetest kitty ever.
Kitty.
It's so cute.
Creepy.
So cute.
Fluffy.
Anyway, in the meantime, I have been Rusty. These have been my friends, and you all have been awesome. I will see you tomorrow morning for more Skyrim adventures. Bye!
I love you, Stuart.